Welcome to the Imagine Not Being Leeds.
Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Now then, everybody, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds for a bit of a chat about today's events and the weekend's events in the whole. We draw 1-1 with Scum today at Elland Road, 12:30 kickoff. Stadium felt a little bit flat, a little bit, not quite at the levels it can be, not quite at the levels of a Chelsea, 8 o'clock kickoff under the lights and all that jazz, but still it had moments. The roof came off when Aaronson scores. Disappointed not to get 3 points, but there's a lot of factors really to that. Obviously, they were missing quite a lot of players. We've looked at the opportunity to get 3 points off them, something that doesn't happen very often for Leeds. But also, we had some key players missing for ourselves, and that massively hampered us today in terms of going out and getting the 3 points. I thought we were going to do it when Brendan puts it away. I didn't see us conceding, to be honest. There were a couple of moments, but again, just moments. I didn't feel like we were under massive pressure at any point. I don't feel like, even though they had a lot more ball than us, Manchester United, I didn't feel like they were making anything too clear cut. Nothing were massively worrying me. So I felt when we went 1-0 up, even though it was very short-lived, I did think we'd have enough and we'd hold on. But I tell you what it is doing, just to sort of go off on a bit of a tangent, is the backup players, the squad players, the fringe players, they're not going to be as good as the players that they're replacing. That's obvious. You know, don't take a scientist to realise that was it. It's fairly obvious, but they're decent enough. They're good enough. You know, Bornau's done really well last couple of games. James Justin doesn't give you what Bogle gives you going forward. He doesn't. Bogle's brilliant at that. But James Justin's probably a little bit better defensively, potentially, you know, and he's quite solid at the back there. I think Gruev did a decent job in place of Ampadu. Probably the hardest role in the team to sort of replace Ampadu. Not only is he a captain, you've also lost the leadership of Rodon. But Ampadu in there, let's be fair, we all knew that were going to be a massive problem. The yellow card at Liverpool, that referee cost us probably... The referee at Liverpool probably cost us 2 points today. Probably cost us 2 points today. He don't get that yellow card, which I don't think he deserved. I don't think it was a yellow card at Anfield. He plays today, and I think we'll win that game. And I thought Gruev played well. I'm not going to say great. I've seen him get a bit of stick, but again, he's replacing Ampadu, who's definitely a level or two up on Gruev. But Gruev's a tidy player. He gets stuck in. He made a few bone-crunching tackles. But I do feel like in midfield, without Ampadu in there, it is a massive drop-off. I thought Stack played well. Aaronson played well. But I think when you take Ampadu out that side, I mean, you saw Cunha today. I thought Cunha was the best player on the pitch. It's not nice saying a scum player was best player on the pitch, but I think he was. I thought Cunha were class today. You know, the amount of times he just sort of dropped the ball on the end of his toe, beat a Leeds player in just in acres of space, and could sort of play the game at his pace. And we weren't quite as ferocious. We had moments, but I don't feel like we were quite ferocious and as quite up for it as I thought we'd be. But also, same goes to them. I just think the game ended with like meh, yeah, okay then. But obviously, you're happy with the point, happy to stretch the unbeaten record. But definitely a bit of a missed opportunity. But I'll be honest with you, Manchester United weren't as bad as we were led to believe. They were going to be shocking because they've got 34 players out. It sounded deja vu, to be fair. It sounded like that Sunderland lot from up north. It really did. It sounded like the Sunderland lot. We were missing this player, missing that player. So you should beat us. Well, you've still got a hell of a lot of talent on that pitch, a lot of money spent. And if, you know, you come into a side that's been newly promoted this season and you're saying we should beat them when it was still £500 million of a talent on pitch, then it goes to show you how atrocious your spending's been. I thought Sesko were dire. I thought Biol has caught really well with some really good centre forwards. Your Haalands, your Thiago, they've got a hat-trick today at Everton. Against Everton, fought for Brentford. He's done brilliant. And then you see Sesko come, and what an absolute turgid player he is. awful play, but I thought Biol handled him well as well. 6'5", Sesko. He had a chance that he should have put away, but yeah, it was poor. Anyways, let's get into chat. Please smash me a like on the stream. Please subscribe if you're newer here, but let's get into it. You know how I do it. Let's have a bit of a natter between me and you. Tezza, as always, thanks for tuning in. Even everyone says gangrene, hey up, buddy. Hi, all. Angela, hi, Matty and chat. We keep pushing for them points, don't we? I don't like 12:30 kickoffs. None of us do, Angela. None of us do. But these things happen, don't they? Unfortunately, the scum game will never be anything other than a 12:30 kickoff. Hope you're doing well. Richard, hey up, mate. Evening, Matty. What time were you in the ground? I was in the ground about 12. About half an hour before, mate. Hey up, Bill. Hey, Matty, we will take the point. Yep, we haven't got a choice. We take it. And I think we'll look back on it as a good point. I think we will. I think if we'd lost at Anfield, then we'd be a lot more down in dumps. But I think because it's also stretching the unbeaten run to another game, you know, yeah, you want to get points, you do. You want to get 3 points where you can. At home, you want to be winning your games and drawing away from home. But you can see a solidarity now. You can see how competitive we are. And like I say, we are proper down on troops when you think about it. You know, we might not have, 6 or 7 or 8 of them out. I mean, James is out. Longstaff hasn't been deemed fit to play any minutes today, although we're on bench. But James hasn't really featured much this season anyway, even when he's been sort of semi-fit, really. Has he been fully fit for a couple of games, maybe? But I mean, the 3 you've taken out, I said it in my instant match up recently. If you want to name 3 players you didn't want out the side, or if you want to name the 3 first players on the team sheet, bar DCL, it probably is Ampadu, Bogle, and Rodon. It probably is them 3. And yeah, no, they were all championship players, but we always knew they'd step up to Premier League, and I think they've taken to Premier League with ease, to be fair. I think Rodon and Bogle especially. I think it took Ampadu a little bit longer, but I think Ampadu's been absolutely outstanding in the last month. But Bogle and Rodon are unbelievable for us. And, they're arguably as big a miss for Leeds United as a Bruno is, as a Mason Mount is, or whatever else, other showers they've got missing. But I think, there's some plays we probably can't afford to lose. And when I saw Bogle had gone off the team sheet, I did think to myself, that's one too many. I ain't going to lie. Ampadu out, Rodon out. But then to lose Bogle, it just felt one too many for me to have the level of performance I thought we'd have. And you think what Bogle gives you down that right-hand side, we didn't get that from Justin. We didn't, but... Toz, evening, Matty, and all the chat. Hope everyone is good. Hey up, Toz. Hope you're good, mate. I'm good. I'm not too bad at all, buddy. A bit dreading going back to work this week, but I thought we were going to end on a massive high this Christmas period, but we're still in good shape. Gangrene, they were there for the taking. However, pre-game, in reality, I would have taken 1 point from the game as part of the bigger picture, yeah. But in isolation today's, I would have loved to have won. Yeah, it's a game that I was expecting big things from. I was expecting to walk away with that pure just elation. If anyone's watched me Matchday vlog, when we scored, I lost my nut. I did my nut in, massively lost my head. I was absolutely beside myself with emotion. For it to just be, I think I didn't even pick my jaw off at floor before they scored, to be fair. But yeah, like you say, the bigger picture at a point, it continues to run. We can keep building that momentum. It's just when you look at Liverpool, Sunderland, Brentford, it's a lot of draws there, but they're all games where you think we probably could have got maybe a win or 2 out of all them. But again, I think the general consensus is we're all sort of a little bit that we didn't win, but we're all, very happy that the unbeaten run continues. And everybody, I say everybody, a lot of people would have been happy with a point before kickoff. 8 points clear, 7 unbeaten, 18 games to go. Transfer window open, all positive. Yeah, that's it, Kershaw. That's it, buddy. I seen you today, mate. You were other side of the fence. After the game, I couldn't get to you. I was just coming out at West Ham, going around side at Cop, mate, to get out, and I seen you other side of the fence, Nick Cars. But yeah, hope you're doing well, buddy. But yeah, you're right. The 8 points clear is what it's all about. I've had a lot of talk this season. Oh, look how far behind X and Y we are, and it's always really been about how far in front of that front three, how far ahead of that front three, bottom three, we are, and it's been fairly close at times. We even dropped into it for a weekend, didn't we? A weekend or 2, but we're out there now. Everybody this weekend lost, dropped points, and we go gain a point there. So this is what I've said a lot. I've said it a lot. When you're in Championship going to win the title, you drop points at all. Even a draw, chances are let's say Burnley or Sheffield United or, whoever were in that division with us at the time, chances are they don't drop points because everyone's, sort of doing well, hence they're being at the top of the league. It's a different sort of feeling when you're down near the bottom. When you're down near the bottom, there'll be sometimes you can afford to drop points a couple of weekends back to back because everyone around there are down bottom for a reason, and chances are they aren't going to get a couple of wins in a row. We're doing something that's a little bit abnormal, really. We're one of the worst 5 sides in the division. What are we? Just above Forest, closing gap to Bournemouth, but we're still 5th bottom, sat in 16th. Great position for Leeds United. But we haven't had the best start to the season, hence why we are down there. But not many teams in 16th, 17th go on an 7-game unbeaten run, in Premier League. That just doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. So I don't see anybody in and amongst us doing something similar. So we've just got to keep going the way we are. West Ham, I think I've got Wolves next, which maybe they win that one. We'll have to see. But I think the gap between us and West Ham is the only sort of thing we've really got to focus on when we're looking at the league. And I don't think we're many more weeks off not even having to worry about that, to be honest. I think what are we on now? 22 points. Another 16, 17 points, maybe do it. Because if we get 16 or 17, that means West Ham's got to get 25, 20, 26. And I don't see them getting that many points from 18 games. I just don't. Not when they've got what they've got after this many. So, the January window is open, Kershaw. We're going to see what people do. I expect everyone around us, what I will say, Kershaw, I expect everybody around us to do more business than us. But that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to struggle. We're playing well with the players we've got now. We've actually seen all the players now in the squad have some minutes, which is good. And where we were a few weeks ago thinking Bornau, maybe Justin, maybe Gruev, a few of these players, not too sure they can do it at this level. It looks now like we've got a squad that Farke trusts, and they're all worthy of a spot potentially. My only criticism, said Gangin, is I've got it. It's a recent run of games. Whilst it's great that we're 7 unbeaten, would have loved to have one more victory, get the gap to 18. Yeah, no, I get that, mate. 7 unbeaten, but only 2 wins. 5 draws. It's not the Leeds way, really, drawing us way to a run, really, is it? If we get beat, or remember Bielsa days would either win or would lose. There weren't many draws in there, and remember last season Championship as well, there weren't many draws. So yeah, it's we're hard to beat. Look at Sunderland. I think they've only won 2 of the last 8 or 9. They're drawing the way and they're still up there, aren't they? So I think it's one of them where you take your point and you move on. But if you can't win the game, don't get beat. Don't get beat. But yeah, 1 or 2 of these draws, if we could have turned into wins, all of a sudden you're a couple of spaces higher and things look a little bit better. But I don't think we can complain with the level of team we've played. That's where you've got to look at it when you actually look at the 8 games we've played, or the 7, 8 games including the City before I went on this 7-game unbeaten run. They're all in the top 8, top 9. They're all the top sides in the division, all in good form, all playing well, not dropping many points, hence why they're in that top 8. So it's not like we've played Burnley and Forest and Wolves in this run of 7 or 8 games. They've all been the best sides in the Premier League. The current form sides that are doing well. So to go on a run with that level of opposition, that's why it feels so much better for me. It really does. And we could talk about how crap Man United are and have this banter and say, they're shy and whatever. They've still got, 500, 600 million pounds worth of talent on that pitch. They've still got, they have kids on bench. Luckily, that's where their depth isn't there really for them. They have got a lot of players out, AFCON and some injuries and suspensions, etc. But we needed to do our bit today with less troops as well, and we did that. And we stood up to the fight, and we look really solid, I think, at the back. Even Liverpool, they had a few moments. Man United today had a few moments, but I don't feel like we're under Kosh. And I don't actually feel massively stressed at the minute watching Leeds play, which is mad. I just don't. I'm just enjoying it at the minute. I'm enjoying watching the players look like they're of a level. Like, go back to Forest, it was so frustrating. They couldn't get going. We felt like the players weren't good enough for this level. Now we're all sort of confident they are good enough for this level. And yeah, there's going to be a drop off when the fringe players, play instead of some of the better players. But to know they are of the level, I'm sort of watching games and just enjoying it for what it is. I'm not getting too stressed because we look defensively sound. Since he made the change, brilliant. But even when we switched to a back 4, when we went for it, I love those subs by Farke towards the end of the game. And I know people will say he made them too late. We're getting stick at Liverpool. But if Farke's getting stick, and a little bit, it's not loads, but a little bit of stick for not making subs early enough, but it's a point at Anfield and a point at home against Scum, I can live with that. I can't live with going to Burnley and getting beat, going to Forest and getting battered. I can't live with that, and he deserves stick. I think Farke can deal with a little bit of stick thing. Maybe you should have brought Tanaka on 10, 15 minutes early. It is what it is. You know, we'll never know. Maybe we bring him on and maybe we concede. You just never know. I thought Tanaka was brilliant when he came on. I thought Nonto injected something, but I don't feel like he looked at it too much when he came on. I thought Pirro looked really lively. Took his little stint quite well, to be fair, when he came on. Did he have about 10 minutes maybe? I thought he did his chance at getting more minutes in future. No harm at all if he stays at the club. But yeah, maybe he could have met subs early, but we'll never know. But for me, he made positive changes, you know, taking a centre half off and switching formation, leaving 4 at back, which all of a sudden Biol looks like he looked like he could only play in a back 5, didn't it, at one point, Biol, or a back 3, whichever way you look at it. And the odd time we've switched it to about 4, he just looks really comfortable now, does Biol. I think it's just took time for him to grow into his role. Definitely better as a central position of a back 3, 100%. He looks more comfortable there, but he's an absolute monster. And he definitely looks now that, you know, the player we all hoped he'd was. You know, you got Perry, Biol, James Justin and Bornau, who 7 or 8 weeks ago I thought were all the waste of money, I won't lie. Now all of a sudden Biol looks very capable. Maybe one of his better centre halves now. And obviously Justin is a great standing as well. So yeah, I'm really happy. Perry's going to be a talking point, I'm assuming, on here. I'm going to see a few comments on Perry, I think. Did he cover himself in glory? Maybe not. Was it a horrendous howler? No, it wasn't. It doesn't highlight. It's not a sort of highlighted mistake like what Melier made when he were at Leeds, but it's one where he comes out and I think he just leaves too much goal to aim for, and he goes down a little bit early. Maybe if you don't come out at all, they don't score because Bornau's chasing. He isn't too far away from Cunha. Maybe he don't score that if he stays in his line. But again, it's not a howler. It's just a split decision he's made to come out, and on another day he saves it and it's fine. But he made a really good save from a point blank header as well. But yeah, Gruev and JJ more defensive, just a little less minded, which some up on. Yeah, no, that's it, Jonathan. That's it, mate. Like I say, we all know what Gruev does. We all know what he can't do as well. You know, he isn't that progressive player. He is more. I just call him tidy. Every time I see Gruev play, I just think he's a tidy player. A little bit like Adam Forshaw, but just better. You know, takes a ball, turns, gives it. Just keeps it ticking over. Very rarely loses possession. I thought first half he got stuck in and made a couple of good challenges. Looked like he were up for the fight. Again, a little bit more lightweight than what we get from even Ampadu. So the output's not going to be the same. And Ampadu's getting a lot more forward now than he has done in past. But he is the most likely player to step in for an Ampadu. But the drop off is quite vast. But I do like Gruev, and I think he never has a bad game. Gruev for me, he just isn't going to do no too outrageously good. And JJ is more defensive, which at times we need. Considering Scum had a depleted squad, they rolled up their sleeves. And yeah, I thought they did all right, to be fair. Because that was a depleted squad for them. It's still a lot of talent on pitch, but for them it was a depleted squad, a lot of changes for them. But I thought it was a fairly even matchup, really. They probably edged it. They had more possession. They had the better of the stats, didn't they? But I kind of feel like I never felt they were gonna win the game. I didn't feel like they were ever going to win the game. Where I kind of felt that last 5-10 minutes we had another goal in us. Hey up, Danny Rumsey, mate. How we doing? Evening, Matthew. Our American boy again today. Last few games been good. Yeah, I mean, I thought he was man at match against Palace, against Liverpool. I thought he was good, and then I think today's been outstanding again. Vastly becoming undroppable, isn't he? Becoming undroppable. The thing what I find weird about the Aaronson situation is I never felt Tanaka did anything wrong to lose his sort of starting spot. You know, when Tanaka came good that couple of weeks when he scored against Chelsea, there were another game in there as well, wasn't there? Liverpool, that winner equaliser at Liverpool, and then he hasn't really played since, really, other than sporadic like minutes off bench. I find that a bit odd, but all of a sudden he can't really get inside with obviously Ampadu will come back for Newcastle, and Stack I thought were brilliant again today. So be Ampadu, Stack, and Aaronson going forward. But I find that's the only thing with Aaronson. I kind of feel like when he came out the side and Tanaka came in, I don't know what Tanaka did wrong to get dropped. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of just thought at the time it'd be rotation, but Tanaka's not had a look in since, which is a bit mad. Come here. Dog's having a whinge. Come up here. Mate, Fraser. Hey, matey. You could tell we played away at Liverpool a few days ago, really struggling, but not from lack of effort. Yeah, there were no lack of effort. I didn't even twig. We had 48 hours less prep time for we played on the Thursday at Anfield. They played on the Tuesday, didn't they, against Wolves? So they had an easier game at home against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and made hard work of that. But they were up for this more were scum. But yeah, like I say, you've got to think when you're playing at Anfield, 48 hours before. Well, just over 40, 2.5 days before. It's a tough gig to then back it up with a game against scum. A game where everybody's expecting fireworks and a large majority is expecting a win. And that's what they had to do. They had to back up a brilliant 0-0 away at Anfield to then do that to Man United. So it was a tough game for all involved, really. But the effort were there, and that's all you can ask for. Sometimes, everything else just sort of don't work out, but the effort were there, and we got some out of the game when we didn't play at its best, which is a sign of a good team. Happy with the performance as Kershaw. The players clearly looked tired with the workload and still found a way to get results. Exactly. You look at James Justin. Did he play 90 minutes today? I think he did, didn't he? That's 2 90-minute performances. Sure, he played full game. Yeah, he did play a full game against Anfield as well. He's hardly played any minutes, and he plays 2 90-minute games 2 days apart. And he's injury-prone player. You've got to manage his minutes. I don't know what more to say on that one. If Pirro's shot went in, would have gone down in Fort Law, it would. I mean, if we'd have won 1-0 as well, Roger, all that stick Aaronson gets, I've made a T-shirt with bloody Jermaine Beckford on it. Can you imagine if Brendan Aaronson scores that goal? The amount of love Beckford's had for it. I don't think it's going to be. I think that's how long it's been and the fact we've been in Championship and League One, etc. I actually don't think now there's going to be much going forward in terms of a gap between results. Yeah, we didn't get this one. Maybe we don't get no at Old Trafford. I'd like to think we can. Who knows? But I don't feel like we're going to be waiting 16 years, 15, 16 years, 20 odd years to beat them again. I just don't see it. I think, they're not the side they were and we're on the up. So, but it would have been good for Aaronson or Pirros to go in. Alan Clark, tough game today, but another point pulls us clear the bottom three. And that's what it's all about, Alan, 100%. John McKinney, hey up, pal. All right, Matt, good point for you. Yeah, really good point for us, mate. We take it, 8 points above relegation zone now with no to moan about. It's a great point for you guys too. Away at Tottenham, didn't play well, but get the point. I didn't think you get out against City, didn't think you get out against Tottenham. Maybe I need to shut up talking about you guys. But yeah, great point for us. Jonathan Wright, they had an extra 40 hours recovery time. There you go, mate. Yeah, they did. And we matched them, I think. We matched them. Fraser, 7 games unbeaten in the Premier League. Incredibly, really. Yeah, of course, it's incredible, mate. Like I say, if, your Arsenals and your Cities sometimes go on 7-game winning runs, that's not, that's not in our locker, unfortunately. But for anybody in the division to go 7 games unbeaten, and I know it's 5 draws and only 2 wins, but it's still 7 games unbeaten. And we weren't even in the Premier League last season. We were told everyone that came up from Championship were going to go back down. Nobody would have thought we'd go on a 7-game, unbeaten run. And you don't go down with that form. I'd love to know, I haven't done the research, but I'd love to know how many sides have got relegated in the past who've gone on a similar run to Leeds United. I can't think there'll be many. I cannot see there being many teams that have gone 7 games unbeaten and still got relegated. I just can't see it. We are stable fighting and picking up points. I'm happy. Exactly, mate. Exactly. No worse conceding from 1 up in a derby. Yeah, no, I know. But it is what it is. Say we've come back in last couple. We've come back, haven't we? To get some in some games, against Sunderland, against Brentford, we came back in those games for a draw, and those draws feel a little bit nicer when you've been behind and you've pulled it back. But to go 1 up, and I don't like saying anything that makes the Scummers think I don't know, we just they keep saying it's our cup final and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's a massive game for us Leeds fans. We love it. There's no glossing that. We love it. And to go 1 up today, the roof came off more than it would have done going 1-1. It would have been great to if we'd have gone down 1 and pulled it back to 1-1 and still left for a point, I mean, same amount of points on board. But to go 1 up against Scum today were class. And yeah, it lasted about 2.5 minutes. But it is what it is. These things happen. It's football. Shows how far we've come. Not fully happy with a point against 5th from genuinely outplayed every game. Yeah, exactly. I agree, mate. I agree. Penny needs to improve. If he doesn't, I would replace him in the summer. So poor for the equaliser, poor on corners under his bar. Yeah, I think he's a better shot stopper than we've seen. He's getting. I think honestly, I think he's getting better. Piper, no, I think he's getting better. I actually do. I think he's better than where he was a few weeks back. But yeah, he's still not it for me. He's still not it, and his distribution's poor. But again, I don't want to. I aren't going to hammer him for us draw. If we'd have won 1-0 today, we'd have got away one there, wouldn't we? We didn't deserve to win the game 1-0 for me. We didn't. If I'm take me biased hat off and my roasting glasses off, we didn't deserve the win. Not saying we shouldn't have got it. You have games where you don't deserve to win and you can win. We have a lot of games where we don't deserve to lose, and we have done this season. A la Fulham. These things happen, but I aren't going to hammer him for that. I'm not. Thought you'd be in a relegation battle until the end of the season, but since West Ham are that shit, you're safe by default. All it take. 32 points. I'm still going to say we need high 30s, just based on it being West Ham, and you never know, and they've got money to spend. But Priestley was saying this to me today. You really think we need 38, 40 because West Ham are shit? And yeah, I get that now. It looks like it's not going to take as many as we said, but you never know. So. And I don't think it's just down to West Ham being shit. I really don't. To be on 22 points after 20 games is decent. We're on for getting in and around 40 anyway, just on his own merit. So yeah, it's good that end of the day with you doing so well, we needed 2 established Premier League sides to be worse than us, or we need to be better than them. And that's happening. And it's not just out them being poor. We're doing well. We beat West Ham as well when we played them at Elland Road. And we're just on a 7-game unbeaten run. That's not to do with West Ham. That's all on us. And they can't match it, can they? And I don't see them matching it. 49ers' approach to build a squad in the summer has shown today that it's worth it. Can we say it was fantastic? Maybe not. But building solid numbers, that's 7 out of 10 play. Yeah, I agree with that, Gangeen, 100%. Got a lot of stick for bringing in DCL, bringing in Metcher. They both proved the work worth the weight in gold, them signings. And then even I've spoke about Justin and Bornau saying if they don't play many games this season, you've got best part of 15 million quid wasted that you could have maybe signed on someone in a key area that we needed. But I also understood you need players who are going to be bench players who may only get sporadic minutes. You need them and they need to be of a good level. We weren't sure on Bornau, but I always knew Justin was a decent player. To have James Justin as a backup, happy to play behind Bogle, it was always going to get some sort of game time. You'd have had to put your money on it. It were going to. And I'm a massive, massive James Justin fan. I always have been. I loved him when he was at Leicester. He's not as good as Bogle, no, but for that player to come in, you imagine if we'd have had some young kid playing. Imagine if we'd have had to play Sam Byram today. Obviously not a young kid, but another option in there. If we'd had to play a youngster, or we'd have brought someone in on loan who maybe weren't as experienced as James Justin, I don't think you get the same level. So yeah, he can't get up and down the pitch like Bogle, but I quite like how we've got 2 different sort of fullbacks. He used to be able to get forward up and down a lot more. He isn't too. I think he's only about 28, Justin. A lot of bad injuries, though, but he doesn't give you Bogle's energy. He hasn't got Bogle's end product. But defensively, he's probably better. Michael, hey up, pal, evening, Matty. Imagine had Pinot picked that top corner. Oh, imagine. I say 3 or 4 more wins than safety. 4 give us 12. Mad, ain't it? 4 more wins. What's that? 12 points gives us 32, then some draws, maybe. I'm going to go 5 wins. 5 wins gets us to what? 37. We'll get a draw 2 in there. 5 wins out of 18 games. We're there, aren't we? We're not going to not win 5 games for me this season. Not where we're playing. Who we still got to play at home? Still got to play Fulham at home. Still got to play Burnley at home. Still got to play Forest at home. Still got to play Sunderland at home. We've got some really winnable games at home. That Sunderland one's will ruffle some feathers, but still at home, it's not a bad game. And there's a lot more teams in there as well. Who else is there? Wolves still got to play Wolves at home. Wolves, Fulham, Forest. Yeah, there's some right winnable games in there. Really is. Happy with point. Hey up, Jonathan. However, for all our turnaround in performance, we have to start racking up. Yeah. Do you know what it is, though? And I know, and I've said this today, but do we? 18 games left, draw them, we're up. Draw them and stay up, don't we? We're not going to draw every game. No, that's the problem. If we lose a couple, all of a sudden you start slipping a bit. But the momentum, the belief that the lads will get from that just unbeaten run, going again. And we've got a tough game coming up on Wednesday as well. Away to Newcastle. Somehow I think, I don't know if they're still 9th, 10th. Somehow they've just sort of creeped up, haven't they? And I expect them to finish higher than what they've been performing this season, Newcastle. But all of a sudden, we win that again. It's very congested from like 5th, 6th down to like 14th. There's a bit of a gap between us and I think Fulham now, maybe a 5 or 6 point gap. But if we can just keep doing what we're doing, we're going to pull ahead of West Ham. I'm sure they've got Wolves next. If they win that, then if we lose to Newcastle, it's a 3 point swing. But Yeah, I don't think the next win's far away, Jonathan. I'm sure you'll agree with that. You know, I really don't. And we've got a decent run of games coming up at some point because we've just played top 8, top 9 sides. So I'm assuming to come we've got some below that. We can't dwell too much on recent games. Just plan for pending matches. Yeah, mate. John, what do you think suits us more than Forest play West Ham this week? Well, Forest to win, John. I was speaking previously about this as well. Forest to win, keep West Ham down there. I said a point initially, but then when you think about it, Forest win. Forest beat West Ham, just miles better for us. Miles better. So that's who's West Ham got. West Ham have got Forest down there, then Wolves. So if you're West Ham, we're gonna know. Let's be fair. We're gonna know where we are in next couple of Premier League games, aren't we? We're gonna know where we are because West Ham have 2 winnable games in Forest and Wolves. There, I'm sure that's what they've got next. So if they win them, they'll start feeling good. Momentum can start. If they lose to Forest and struggle against Wolves, it could be curtains after what 22, 23 games, couldn't it? Hey up, how do Matty? Clive at Leeds game, formerly West. Hey up, buddy. Hey, how are you doing? Hope you're well. Disappointed that we didn't get win because could have, but unbeaten run is good and the gap is bigger. Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. Why aren't we producing top young players? We are good enough to play in the Premier League. Yeah, Darren, it's a bit of a criticism, really. I'd say. I mean, with the money and stuff in Premier League and how you just need to stay in there. It's very hard to blood youngsters. I think you see that at every club. 1 or 2 might come through, and obviously we've got Harry Gray, Sam Chambers were on bench today, which were great to see. But again, it shows us depth's not quite there. But we're never going to get game time. Ollie Pickles, I think in under 21s looks really good, having a good season too. There's a few. Cresswell as well. He's a good player. Charlie's brother. So there's 3 or 4 coming through at Leeds who I think are really good. But will they ever break into first team? It's so difficult. I mean, if we were to get relegated, which I don't think we do now, but if we were to go down, I think Harry Gray would play a lot of minutes in Championship for Leeds next season. The fact that we're going to stay up, in my opinion, where does Harry Gray go next season? It's very difficult. It's very much the model these days, I think, to bring young players through, loan them out, them do well on loan, then you sell them before they really even hit your first team and try and make money on them. It's all a bit of a money-making spin. So someone like a Harry Gray worries me on the basis that will we see the best of Harry Gray at Leeds? Or will a £30 million transfer from Man City come into Leeds and we can't turn it down? That's the worry. We saw it with Archie. We got a year out of Archie. It's very hard to blood youngsters for me, especially at a club like Leeds United, because money talks, and that's how you keep, you on the right side of PSR and can build a squad more established to staying up. But it is a good point, mate. As long as you draw your games and pick up wins here and there, you're sound. Yeah, that's it, John. Yeah, that's it. Leeds dub. Only in from work. Hi, Matty. Seen your video from the match. Thanks. Why not Tanaka? We would have won with Taka. Seen a few people say that. If buts and maybes, we never know. But with Tanaka, it is a bit of a mad one. He had the best week of his life, and I don't think he started since that Liverpool game. Well, he came off a bench in Liverpool game, didn't he? Which I thought he should have started after that. But again, some things with Farke we'll never understand. But while every results are going in our favour, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He loses that game today. The Tanaka conversation, the Nonto situation, the subs being late again, start being a thing because the subs were late again today. But it doesn't matter when you get the result. And it wasn't the result everyone wanted, but it was probably the fair result based on the 90 minutes. We need to get in 2, preferably a centre-back and a striker. I give that a 30% chance. What about you? It's hard, isn't it? Because you're going to be getting Bill. You're going to be getting in. If we're going to sign a centre-back and a striker. Sorry, dog's having an absolute howler. A centre-back and a striker to get in, Bill. They're going to know the cover. So that they're not going to be massively expensive for me, but they're going to be cover choices because no one's going to start off a DCL. And I think DCL and Metcher are decent. I mean, there's an argument that a striker may come in and fancy himself as a starter alongside a DCL. If we were to say sign Troy Parrott, maybe he comes in as that second striker and becomes a starter. Maybe. I don't quite see as signing a striker and being a main starter. Not when you've got Okafor and Metcher, who Farke trusts and have done okay. What's wrong with you? Come here. When it comes to defender, definitely going to be a bench option is a defender. Definitely be backup. Definitely. So I think they're easier deals to do in terms of financial. But I think in terms of, trying to get a player and tell a player this is a project for them when they're probably going to be backups, a tough sell. But I think maybe a number 10 / right winger, you could maybe sell that project and say, we're playing this formation now, but I want someone who can play this sort of role, but I haven't really got anyone that fits that mould as of yet. We've got Aaronson who's doing well, but if you get an out-and-out sort of magician in that 10, we haven't really got someone who can play that role. or someone who Farke believes can play that role. So maybe you can sell that project to him a little bit better. I would love a 10. Not that we play that way now, but I'd like the option to. I think we need a left-sided fullback. If Goodmanson gets injured, you imagine if Goodmanson would have gone down after 10 minutes there, we bring in on Sam Byram. And if Bogle's out for, a couple of games and Justin's on right, who's playing at left? You're having to play Pascal Strauch at left back. You're having to play Jack Harrison at left wing back. I think I'd love the equivalent of James Justin, what we've got on that right-hand side. Someone who's not as good going forward as Goodmanson, just like Justin isn't with Bogle, but someone who's more defensive than Goodmanson. So in certain games, if you don't feel like you want to bomb forward and you want to have a bit more control and be a little bit more compact like we were at Liverpool, maybe you turn around and go, right, Goodmanson's carrying a knock, or we want to rotate. I want someone like Justin, someone who can go forward a bit, but I expect him to overlap and create. I'm expecting him just to shut up shop and be a solid defensive, like Alex Moreno from Aston Villa, who we were linked with before. I'd like someone like that to come in. So centre half for me isn't a priority. I think we've got 3 good centre halves there, and we've got Ampadu who can fill in if needed. Got 4 centre halves. I'm with 4 centre halves when everyone's fit. Although I am expecting Pascal Strauch at some point, Bill, to have a bit of a problem. But yeah, I mean, the striker one I can see why, and the centre half I can, but I'm looking more of a number 10. And then, like I say, the other 2 you've mentioned probably just be squad players anyway, just depth, which won't excite people. So, and I do think like we need at least one signing that's going to get people excited. We need 2 players for backup. Don't know who they are, but we need them. Still a long way to go. Yeah, mate. Gruev is terrible. Leeds dub. I couldn't agree more with you, mate. I really couldn't. He's not as good as Ampadu, no, but I don't think he's terrible. I think that's really harsh to say he's terrible, mate. I do. I don't think he's terrible at all. I don't. Is he a Prem player? Potentially. Yeah, I think he's a Premier League player. I do. He's a Premier League player for the bottom side and winning the bottom 5. And he's a backup, and he's his 5th choice. You got to remember, he's our 5th choice central midfielder, is Gruev. And he started over Longstaff today, so people maybe say he's not 5th choice. But I think he's always first choice when Ampadu's out. He's always going to come in for Ampadu first. But Gruev is number 5 out of our central midfielders. Don't think he's terrible at all. We used to have Forshaw was one of our, 3 last time we were in Premier League. Gruev's better than Forshaw. And Gruev's 5th choice. Come here. Dog's not happy all tonight. We have the worst keeper in the Prem. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Aaronson shut me up weeks ago. He's very good now. Mind-boggling. Unreal. I don't know what's going on with him. Positionally, I feel like he's just been given a little bit more freedom. I think before he's been asked to play as a right winger, it's not really worked. I think he's been asked to play as a 10, not really worked. I feel like he's just here, there, and everywhere. I mean, he's picking up ball from deep. He's driving with it. Sometimes you've seen him on wing. He's been given that freedom. I feel very much like he's been given the freedom what Jorginho Rutter had under Farke, where he's able to pick the ball up in pockets and different areas. He can go wide to left. He can go to right. He can drop deeper. He's got that freedom. And today, he's on the defender's shoulder for that ball over the top. And it's a great goal by Brendan. He had so much time to fuck that up, and he didn't. The decision making of Brendan Aronson's always been the problem. Too much time, and he can't finish for me. He hasn't got a decent shot on him. He hit that really well with his left foot across keeper. Really good goal. And he just keeps shutting people up. And you know what it is, Leeds dub? Just like with Farke, everybody's been right to not be sure about Aaronson. Everyone was right to not be sure of Farke. And it's on them to prove people wrong. And they're doing it. So keep fucking doing it. That's all we want. Farke has turned the recruits from looking like a value of 40 million to the truth. Yeah, I agree, Jonathan. Agree, 100%. Everyone in the chat, hey up, buddy. I desperately wanted Farke out, but the transformation in the team, the players' mindset is astonishing because we're disappointed with a draw against Scum. Yeah, that's hey up, Steve. Hey up, be good, mate. 100%. To be disappointed with even leaving Anfield, we're happy with a point, obviously, but again, thinking missed opportunity. Going to Brentford, missed opportunity. Sunderland, missed opportunity. To come away from these games with a draw, thinking we could have had more, is testament to the change that Farke's instilled in the whole club. It's unbelievable from where we were. I think Gruev is the reason we didn't win. Again, disagree. But again, it's opinions. It's opinions, mate. It really is. I don't think Gruev's the reason we didn't win. I think Ampadu not being in is the reason we didn't win. I don't think it was Gruev's fault at all, to be honest. Gruev has to play because there's no Ampadu. I've seen Scum saying we had this player out, that player out. So did we. That's why you say as not 11 players. Gruev, very good for me. Mopped up midfield, just get some of it. I think same, Sarah. Hey up, Sarah. All right. Legend, Ticketmaster. You know, Sarah. Thank you so much for today. But yeah, no, I agree. I think I'm sick of hearing people talk about players missing. You know, yeah, we've got to speak about who we've got missing. I understand that. But there is certain teams who, yeah, there's a drop off when you don't have your starters. I get that, but when you've spent as much money as Man United have, they don't get no fucking slack from me. They don't get no praise from me for struggling against a side that were a Championship side last year. No, they don't. And we're missing 3 players there that all played in Championship last year. You know, brilliant players for us. But I aren't going to feel sorry about them missing a few. I'm not when the players on the pitch. You know, Sesko, they spent what 70, 80 million on Sesko. Waste of money. Absolute tripe. You know, Cunha, great player. I didn't think he was worth 60 million. Fair play. Looks every part of 60 million pound player. Them two, 135, 140 million between them. You're not getting no tears from me that you had 7 or 8 players missing. Couldn't give a shit. Richard Hogan, sorry, Matt, I just heard something that the ground didn't start filling up 5-10 minutes before. Yeah, I've seen that too. I've seen Brownie say it. Yeah, it weren't empty. It weren't empty, but there were seats. But what it was, Richard, the police today, there were a massive police presence, as there should be, to ensure safety. And they were stopping people, groups of people at the gates. There were more checks. There were more bag checks. We had to show us tickets every single gate we went through, where normally you don't have to show your ticket until you get to turnstile. I had to show my ticket 3 times today to get into my seat. So the security, I guess, in and around the stadium were heightened because of the level of the fixture. So I think that didn't help getting people in. But it wasn't 5 minutes before kickoff. It wasn't empty. It was literally just, there were still seats waiting to be sat on, but it weren't as bad as that. John Charles, hi Matty. It goes to show how we've improved. Being disappointed with a point against Scum a few weeks ago, we'd be ecstatic. Yeah, exactly, mate. JJ and Gruev looked much better on Thursday. While it was a quick turnaround, I think Ampadu makes everyone's jobs easy. Yeah, he does. Ampadu's unreal. He's such a good player. I think a lot of people didn't rate Ampadu, but I always said last season, I said it on this channel all the time, especially in away games, but last season, Ampadu goes about his business fine, right? Didn't set anyone's world alight in Championship, just does his job. As soon as you take Ampadu out of our side, we stop winning games in Championship. Those wins went to draws. Some of the draws went to like we went on a poor run when Ampadu was out the side. We've managed to win today without our captain and our main midfielder that mops everything up and has also been a goal threat of late. Piper, come here. So it's one of them. You don't know what you've got till he's gone, and he definitely is a massive loss for us. Hey up, Brett. Everyone's players are fatigued in this run of fixtures, but I'm getting fatigued trying to keep up with it all here. It's been mentally exhausting. Let's say, luckily for me, I enjoy doing content. It's not. I don't have to do it. I enjoy it. But I tell you what, I look back today at my YouTube videos. I'm like, chuffing. I've done about 10 videos in the last 3 days or something. It's been a massive amount of games and football. You know, you go through these international breaks, don't you, and stuff where there's a gap and it's just killing you off. You're like, oh, I just want football back. Man, it's mad that we go again Wednesday and then we go again on Saturday. You know, we've got between now and the 6 more days, 2 more games in the next 6 days. Mental. And then we need a bit of a rest, I think. Aaronson has deserved his goal for his recent performances. His performances have been good around Christmas time last year too, and score that beautiful winner at Derby. Yeah, he did. Just needed what it is with Brendan. Just needs to maintain those levels for longer. The consistency. This is what annoys me. We saw him right at the beginning of his tenure at Leeds United. Right at the beginning of his time at Leeds United. Remember the goal against Chelsea where he run the keeper down, the pressing. He was fantastic until Qatar, until the World Cup halted the Premier League season. That first season at Leeds United. Brendan Aaronson was fantastic. Then he came back and he was shocking. And then he leaves and then he comes back and then it takes a while for people to want him again. We know he's a good player. We're not quite sure where he fits, or we weren't quite sure where he fits. He didn't hit the heights we expected him to in the Championship. But again, he's a number 10. His sort of position. I'm not too sure where his position is. But at the minute, whatever he's doing, he's fucking doing brilliant. And now he looks like a Premier League player. And he's probably Farke's first name on team sheet right now. It really is. He does all the hard work, does all the pressing, and now he's got he's got an end product now. That dog's doing made him. So I hope you can't hear her crying. It's that time of month, I think, which is not good. Perry's poo. Daniel Farke out at Leeds United goalkeeper. hits out, did he? I'll have to have a look at that. Good point. A game too far for rules. We were like, yeah, Darren, I agree. It did feel like a game too far, and it also felt Bogle being out. What an injury too far in my book. It really was. Hey, up top, Banana, evening all. How you doing, my mate? Hope you're good. Just a quick shout out. 69 likes, 150 people watching. Thanks so much. These numbers are crazy for me at the minute. Really appreciate you tuning in. Please slap me a like on the video. I'd love to get to over 100 likes if possible. The Aaronson goal came from nothing. The work rate. So, yeah, I mean, that Heaven, I don't know what Heaven were doing. Remember Heaven and Hell, the nightclub in Leeds? Aaronson turned it into hell. But, yeah, great, clean pair of heels by Aaronson there, chasing down and Nick in front of him. Great goal on his left foot. But, yeah, it seemed to be coming out of nowhere. I wasn't even really expecting anything from that ball over the top. But, yeah, played over by Strauch, and then he's just onto it. He just chased everything down, does Aaronson. He just don't stop. He's just got that will to win in every moment. He gets a lot of stick because he's always trying to make something happen. He's always trying to beat a man. Sometimes too many men. I'm saying that to Brendan if I ever see him. You try and take on too many men. Because he does, initially, he always does well. Whenever he gets the ball, Brendan, for me, if it's not a pass or a wayward pass, if he tries to beat his first man, he usually beats him. It's when he goes past a couple, then he thinks he's prime Messi, doesn't he? The Medford Messi, and he goes another one too far, and he should just give it earlier. But yeah, he's been brilliant. You were on early, Matt. Yeah, well, I wanted an early night because I'm back at work tomorrow. So yeah, you're going to see me come on a little bit early now and again. I want to see how it goes. As long as there's enough people, and the regulars still get to watch, I probably will come on a bit earlier because, like I say, the missus works late now, doesn't she? So I might come on a bit earlier than 10. Although I do like 10 o'clock because you guys do. But yeah, just as and when I feel it. But yeah, 152 people watching now, which is class. So it means there's still scope to do it a bit earlier, which I appreciate. Gutted because we should have won today. We had a bench to change things. They had the under-8 17s on the bench. They did, mate. However, 7 games unbeaten with the quality of opposition has been outstanding, exactly. And that is the quality of the opposition over these 7 games have been outstanding. And we won the second half at City as well, so it's 7.5 games unbeaten. Tom, bringing all the lads together as one respect, bro. Cheers, mate. Thanks so much, pal, for your super chat. Really appreciate that, Tom. Hope you're doing well, mate. Thank you again. Tick of the lights for that, Matty. Cheers, Top Banana. Farking from me from now on. Here, results change, feelings. We'll see how we do. But yeah, I'm so glad, Stevie. I thought you might give him a bit of stick today for not making subs earlier. I thought there were going to be a few more say this, and I sort of understand what you're saying, but to get out of it with a point, you can't argue with it in my eyes. Hey up, Johnny. Hope you're good. So proud of the lads today. Done well against the big boys in recent games. We are adapting well to the Premier League. Yeah, we are, mate. We'll look at Premier League side now. I do genuinely think you can sort of just ignore those first, 12, 13 games. I really do. We're a different side now. Obviously, every stat, and when they're looking at Leeds and the goal, the away form's poor, you've got to look at it as a block of what we've done this season. I get that. But I honestly feel like we're a different side now. Really do. Farke, he just hadn't adapted to the Premier League. He was still stubborn in his ways. What I will say is, though, we've seen in recent weeks, he has adopted a little bit more of his old school ways. We are playing out the back more now. We are playing more possession-based football, building up from the back. We're not going long all the time, and I do like that. We had a bit of a few games where it was just long, more often than not, direct football up to Calvert-Lewin. But you saw the goal at Sunderland. Today we're passing out from the back. I don't mind it. You even saw Perry take on one of their players today. I think it was Sesko. When it tried to close down, took him on, and then did a paw kick afterwards. But I don't mind it. It's varying as play, and it makes us less predictable. Stack, man at match. I love Stack today. I thought he played really well. Yeah, we're right up there. I'd probably give it to Biol. To be fair, I thought Biol, Stack, Aaronson were probably our best players. What do people think of Noah Okafor? Because he's getting some pelters, and he was getting pelters in stands. Whenever he lost ball, kept on getting called lazy tag, and I don't get it. I do not get it. He tried to beat a man today, got dispossessed, and then the guy, ran past him, and then he was tracking back, but he weren't busting a gut to get back. But I didn't look at him and think you were being lazy. I just didn't. He was sort of holding his position. I don't know. I don't get what it is. Okafor's getting that sort of treatment. I heard it a few times this season in and around me, whichever stand I've been in, people giving Okafor a lot of shit. And I think it's because he's that quality player. He's the only one really who's technically gifted, I think. I think he's technically. I mean, he saw his overhead kick. It was decent enough that just not enough power on it. But I don't know what it is. Because he's a bit of a luxury player. Is that what it is with Okafor? He gets a lot of stick. Maybe it's just because he hasn't been as good as what we hoped he'd be. I don't know. But I didn't mind him. I thought first half he was one of his most liveliest players down that left hand side. He hasn't set the world alight, but has he really been shit? I heard someone say shit today, shit and lazy. I don't know. Maybe some people agree with that. I don't. Hey up, John. Hope you're good, mate. Good point for you today, pal. Wolves, Burnley, West Ham are shit. Let's just keep winning the game, winding the games down and gathering them points. Yeah, 100%, mate. 10 wins, 10 draws, 40 points guarantee, 17th in my opinion. You've said that all the time, mate, and yeah, you've said that all the time. 10 and 10. Pissed off we let an equaliser go in from the kickoff. Yeah, do you know what it is, Steve? We've done that a lot this season. We've done that a lot. We've conceded in lapses of concentration, whether it's been start of an half or straight after scoring a goal. We did it at Forest. Ampadu rode on my most influential player. Yeah, there are leaders. There are leaders, aren't there? They are. 34 keeps us up. I'm still going high 30s because I don't want Priestley to be right. Priestley told us we stay up on about 34, and I don't want to prove him right just yet. So I'm still going to say 38 minimum. I've said 40, but 38. Just because it's West Ham, but I know West Ham look shit right now. Yeah, that was so sad today. A Leeds United fan died prior to the club's draw with Manchester United. The club's confirmed. Yeah, I've seen that go out a couple of hours ago. Heartbreaking. I don't know who it was. I haven't read any more other than that. But yeah, so sad. Yeah, thoughts go out to their family. Horrendous. I think we need to get 40 points to make sure of safety. Bornau definitely responsible for the equaliser today. Cannot understand why Perry has been targeted. Well, I actually think, Stevie, Bornau probably gets to Cunha if he don't come out. Because I think if Perry don't come out, I don't think Cunha shoots in that moment. So I don't know. It was just a good goal. He ran off his defender and got behind. Very few times they got him behind us and they punished us, but it weren't the best of shots. I think he made it easier for him by the angle he created by coming out. But again, it's not a howler, is it? It's not a howler. He commands his box quite well. He's come out and he's just left a little bit too much goal to aim for, and it's a goal. I don't know. Liverpool twice, yeah. Champions twice. The World Cup champions, whatever it's called, Chelsea. Brentford in London. What can you say? And then obviously Scum today. We've had some big games, haven't we? Had some big games. 100%. Yeah, no losses. Cannot believe I can't believe you're Farking. West Ham lost 3-0 at Wolves, Fergal. Yeah, they did, Fergal. There you go, mad in it. Get your likes in, lads. 163 in the chat now. I'm always way behind on chat. 91 likes. Thanks so much for that. How come you didn't smash Scum? Oh, is this a Scum fan coming in? I heard you were smashing Scum. I heard that too, mate. I heard that too. Believe it or not, it's football. It doesn't always happen, though, does it? Jalen, lad, it doesn't always happen. But you are trying. What you've got to remember is Leeds haven't been a Premier League club for many years, outside for the last 20. You were winning titles, at one point. I said not too long ago. It's quite a bit ago for you now, isn't it? But you used to win titles, and you just, you couldn't beat Wolves. And then little old Leeds who got promoted last season, can't beat them either. 2 points from Wolves and Leeds. You're telling me, regardless of players you had on pitch, Jalen, you're telling me you weren't expecting 6 points. You're shite, mate. You're shite. Problem is you're shite. Might be still a little bit better than Leeds is shite. Because, like I say, you were winning Premier Leagues not too long ago. Too long ago for what you should be doing when you're spending billions and billions, when you're billions and billions in debt, and you're going to build a new stadium costing billions when you're billions and billions in debt. But it is what it is, isn't it? You're just an absolute scum club and horrible fans. Some of the stuff I've read on TikTok, horrible fans. Haven't gotten out a brain cell between you to actually have a civilized conversation about football or even give a bit of banter without going into tragedies at the football club. It's a horrendous club, is your club, and it's proved it this week. Come here. Come on, you Matt. Sorry for that, people, but I've had some horrible messages from Man United fans. Just 'cause I've given them a bit of banter this week. The horrible fans out there. Come on, you Mighty Whites, Leeds United. Yeah, too right. Honestly, I think if Ampadu don't get booked to Anfield, it's if buts and maybes, but they shouldn't have been booked. He should have been on pitch today. I think we beat you today. I think we do beat you. 3-1. West Ham have just lost Wolves. They have Forest and Spurs next. Yeah. Yeah, of course, mate, of course. Kept on saying that like they're Wolves next, but yeah, you're right. We are staying up. Farke, manager of the month. He's doing pretty well, isn't he? But now Ampadu and Justin can all cover right side. Centre back, no centre backs coming in. Yeah, I don't think we'll get a centre back in, to be honest. I think we've got enough. We never get any credit from scum people, Neville, etc. I don't know, Peter. Neville's, I kind of think Neville's like a secret Leeds fan at times. I don't know it's been like his season, but remember last time we were in Premier League under Bielsa, he fucking loved it. He absolutely loved us. What's that? Mark Jones. Well said, Matty. Say what you think. Take care, bro. Is that the scum fan? Is that what you're saying, Mark? Yeah, it is what it is, mate. I've had some right shit off them this week. And don't get me wrong, I've been giving it the big one, saying we're going to beat them 3-0 or 3-1, but it's how I felt. But they didn't come and beat us, so I don't know why they're coming back to give us pelters. Like, I said we were going to smash you. You drew. Come back. I understand if you beat us today, come and give me pelters, but you drew. Like, it's not even worth, you said you were going to win 3-0. And? And? You got a point against Wolves. What are you on about, dickhead? Our goal difference is like an extra point, so technically we are 9 points clear of West Ham. Yeah, no, exactly, John. Dogs having my life. Sorry, Matty, for spamming your chat. I'm now Farking. Was a bit disappointed with no earlier subs. West Ham needs to be get loud. I felt on my own. I were in West Ham, mate. I were giving it some. Hey, Matty, you're not spamming, it's fine, mate. Hey, Matty, hope you're well. 8 points clear of the drop now. Boys look tired with tight turnaround, need reinforcement. Yeah, we do. We all know that, though, don't we? And Farke knows that. Hopefully, after that Derby game, there'll be 1 or 2 coming. Again, the players needed help from Farke a few weeks back. They've got that. Now Farke needs help from board. It's all about working together, innit? The world knows the Leeds United now champions of Europe. We are the champions of Europe. Hit the like and subscribe. Yes, people, please subscribe to the channel. If this is, in fact, the first time you have seen this ugly mug on screen, I'd really appreciate it. Please smash a like. It just helps bring more people in. We can only bring in players if some of the current squad get deregistered, unless they're younger than 21. I feel it could be bringing in a couple of players, but we haven't got many we can let go. Harrison needs to go. Melier will go potentially, and then you look at maybe a Pirro sale, don't you? But I think two or three have got to go out, buddy, and then maybe we get a couple in. 8 points clear to West Ham. Take that all day. They're screwed. Yeah, you know what it is. Not only where they are in the division now, Paul are playing, but the fact that there's just a massive divide between the fans, the players, the ownership. They're not very good at home. When you compile all that, I mean, to stay in the division, you've either got to be, unreal away from home and you're picking up results that no one sees, or just at home, you're just tidy and you can pick up, a couple of points on average a game at home, over the season, regardless of your away form. They haven't got that for me. All I keep saying with West Ham is, but they've got 3 or 4 really good players. That's all I say. But I don't really think Paqueta, who I think is a really good player, unreal player on his day, I don't think he's up for dogfight. I think Bowen's the only one who I look at and go, he's a proper good player, Bowen. I think he could play in probably any team in Premier League. I don't think that's ridiculous to say. He wouldn't look out of place at Liverpool, at City. I think he's quality, Bowen. And I do think he's the one that will run, all day, tackle for life, will give it his all. I aren't too sure some of the other quality players do, and that's the problem. We don't have many quality star players. Maybe Okafor, we've got quality players in terms of their roles. But you know what I mean by that sort of X-factor sort of player. We haven't got loads of them. We've just got a really industrious, hard-working group who are now well coached. Well coached. Come on. Who would have thought it? Can't believe so many fans are moaning about different players tonight. God help us if we... Oh, Mike, I couldn't believe it in my group chat. I couldn't believe that there were people actually falling out and leaving group chat today. You know you are, AG. People leaving my group chat by disagreements. What were they to argue about today with anybody? Why would any Leeds fan be having beef with another Leeds fan today? Fucking blows my mind, mate. Blows my mind. Yeah, different players. There were players who played better than others, but nobody played shite. Nobody played shite tonight. They didn't. If we'd have had, several players play shite, we wouldn't have got out from game. Hey up, Robbo. Hope you're good. Farke does always get better after Christmas. We have got a fantastic fan base, Peter. We have. Fraser, you imagine putting Aaronson's effort and drive into Jack Harrison? Oh, mate, don't. Oh, his attitude is so poor and a waste of a place on the bench for me. Yeah, potentially, isn't he, mate? Hopefully he goes. But yeah, he wouldn't have got in there, would he? He wouldn't have had desire to get to the ball, Be all bullied Sesko. Honestly, I cannot believe how bad Sesko is as a footballer. But yeah, Beale's bullied every single centre forward he's played against now. You know, what's he had? Haaland, Thiago, Broby. There's been a few, aren't there? He's done brilliant. He looks fantastic, does Biel now. He wins everything in air. He's a threat in the opposition box. Yeah, he's class. He isn't the quickest, but his IQ, his football IQ is really good. He's quite tidy on ball too. Doesn't overplay. That's the best thing about Biel. He doesn't overplay. Gets the ball, gives it, gets in his position, and he's solid as a rock. He's absolutely solid as a rock. I love him. Absolutely love Biel. And I honestly did not rate him. But the problem was, he would always touted as a replacement for Pascal. And I want to give Pascal, but I thought Pascal was brilliant today. He gets the assist as well. He plays the ball off the top. But I think Pascal was brilliant today. I thought Pascal was brilliant against Liverpool. Couple of early moments, as you're going to, up against Ekatike and Frimpong. But I think Pascal is always one that goes under the radar. Whenever we have a good defensive display, Rodon gets applauded, and rightly so, and Biel's now getting him. The new man comes in, new shiny toy, and he's doing brilliant. But Pascal Struijk has been fantastic, bearing in mind his fullback who plays to the left of him, in Gabby Goodmanson, is such an advanced player. He does leave space in behind, and Pascal's having to work across. He's got cover knowing that he's got Biel to his right, but Pascal does a lot of work as well covering Goodmanson. Pascal, I think, has been brilliant this season. And I know a lot of goals have come down that left-hand side, but that is because Gabby's so advanced. I thought Pascal Struijk were outstanding today. And I think he's probably the one player at Leeds who plays the majority of games, who gets the least credit in most games. I think he's been outstanding this season. And I think the problem was, I'm a big Pascal Struijk fan, and I didn't like Biel because he came and he weren't pulling up more trees in a back four, bearing in mind. And he would always touted as that player for Struijk. And I don't think Biel in a back four on the left-hand side, when he's right-footed and not the most agile players or quick players, I don't think that suits him. Central, with a backup of having two other centre-halves either side of him, he's like another player. He's like another player. He's been unreal. I love that. Calgary calling, I love when you say that, Paul. Context, a solid point with a patched-up team at an unbeaten is 7. They feared coming to us, but I feared them on the counter. Don't get me wrong. They didn't put it. I don't feel like they hurt as much at all today. And I don't feel like I was worried much. But at times in transitions, they look like with Cunha on the ball, they may have had. The problem for them is they had Sesko in front of Cunha. That was a problem. Maybe if Cunha maybe played up top with Bruno in behind, maybe that would have worked. I know Cunha's not a big physical presence like a Sesko, but Sesko can be as big as he wants. He's fucking shite. He's shite. Bye, Matty. Speak later. We'll see you later, Sarah. Although you probably left half an hour ago because I'm behind on chat as always. However, Perry has wanted me from day one. Shot stopper, but all-round good keeper. Much to work with the goalkeeping coach. Can we get something at the barcodes? I think we can get something at the barcodes. But again, tough game. Will his run come to end potentially? But I probably think a draw again, Paul. Think a draw again. Again, we look leggy today. We've got to play in 3 days. How overfit's Bogle? Is Bogle going to be back for Wednesday? I guess not. He wasn't even on the bench today. You're asking James Justin to play on Wednesday. You're asking James Justin to play 270 minutes in 6 days. Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday. That's mad. So it's tricky. It's tricky. I'm not sure if Newcastle have got players out and if they're full strength. I'm not too sure. 109 likes, honestly. Absolute legends, a lot of you. 156 watching. Thank you. Absolute craziness. Say it all the time. And it's not lost on me that anyone wants to watch. I promise you, it's not lost on me. I always try my best to get through every chat and we have a conversation back and forth, hence why it lasts a while. Because at this volume of people watching, 156, it's getting harder and harder. But I do my best to keep bringing comments up because I think it's brilliant that we can have that discussion, comment on comment. I love it. But thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for liking, and please subscribe. Stevie, the calmness on the ball that Ampadu does, it shines like a lighthouse. The directness from Bogle, in my opinion, was even missing much more. Yeah, well, Ampadu's like a quarterback for me. Picks the ball up, sees where it, at times he can hold it too long, but for me, he's looking for that forward pass. He's looking to try and make a difference in the final third, and I think we did miss that today. I think he's more of a risk taker than Gruev. Bogle, you missed him in that final third. You don't see Justin as far down, as far advanced as Bogle. So I think their left back doesn't get as troubled with Justin in there. But equally, I think Justin defends a little bit better than Bogle. So they probably didn't get as much joy behind Bogle, behind Justin as I would have done with Bogle, maybe. I'm in the minority that thinks Perry ain't that bad. We've had worse goalkeepers than him. But if you look at Melier, we were at when Meslier were really poor, we were at a lower level, weren't we? So we didn't get hurt as much. I don't think Perry's done. It's hard because he's coming to replace Meslier, and he hasn't done Meslier like Howlers, really. So I kind of thought we'd just think he were brilliant, even if he weren't that good, because he's replaced Meslier. But I think the spotlight's been on a goalkeeper at Leeds because of how poor Mellier's been. It's been like, we spent quite a lot of money as well for Leeds United, 16 million quid's not to be sniffed at, is it? And it's just such a highlight on Leeds United goalkeeper. And I do think we like to, not Leeds fans, but just as fans in general, we always like to look for someone to blame. When you concede a goal, unless it's an absolute worldie, a bit like Reed today. See Reed's goal for Fulham. Wow. But then again, if he scores that against Leeds, there'll be someone, or, maybe rightly so, saying, well, you should have pushed out more, you should have got out to him quicker. There's always someone to blame in there for a goal. And yeah, he gets it quite a lot, does Perry. But again today, I don't think it was that bad. He's not as bad. He ain't that bad, but, he ain't brilliant either. He's got a lot to work on, but for me, his distribution is probably the worst part of his game. But a lot of people say I'd rather have a keeper that isn't great with his feet, but that can, can save the shots that may go in. And I think he's made some stops this season that have won us some points, or definitely saved some shots that potentially would have gone in under another goalkeeper. But I don't think when Darlow's come in, I don't think Darlow's been that much. Darlow, free transfer, whatever he was. Okay, no one really looks at him as an option as number one for Leeds United. Perry comes in for 16 million quid. You're expecting that, are you? And I don't think there's been much difference between Darlow and Perry, and that's probably why he's had a bit more stick. There's an argument that Darlow wouldn't be doing much worse than Perry, if at all. That might not be right, but there's an argument. People will say, I'm saying it now. Maybe I'm only one. But I think Perry should be number one for what we've got here right now, but it's not a massive drop off to Darlow, which is probably quite concerning in my opinion. Yeah, we did, mate. Yeah, we did. Really, really sad. Really, really sad. Bless him. Ampadu was a massive miss with him, Roden, and 2 new signings. We will be more than safe. I agree, Paul. I agree. Get Newcastle out of the way, and then for the derby match, I'd be starting the 11 players who have played the least. Yeah, and I think he will. Can't afford to lose key players in injury suspension from a cup match. Yeah, you got to think when we're playing derby, we'll have just played Wednesday against Newcastle, so he's going to have to rotate. And what I will say is, I want him to rotate, but I want him to win that game. I do not want a rotated side who'll go there and don't show up. I don't want that. Oh, well, it's all right. We don't win cup anyway, and it's all right. It's 11. We changed 11 play. I don't want none of that. I don't want to see our kids play. There's a lot of players there who can get. Harry Gray can play, maybe, but Pirro can play. Come here. What's wrong? What is wrong? The wife's changed her shifts now, so she works 4 till midnight, and it's like a first proper week of doing it. All I can assure me, she's missing a man. Bless her. Aaronson is a nuisance player to any. Yeah, he is, mate. He is. He just hunts. He just hunts like a pat on his own. He just hunts for the ball. Look tired. Still, but a shifting. Proud of them. 7 unbeaten on Newcastle. Yeah, James, 100%, mate. 100%. Hey up, mighty Leeds. Hey up, Mark. Mad Allerton. Only thing they did for the goal was he wasn't quick enough to come out. Was in 2 minds. Yeah, and he just left too much of a gap to his right hand side. And he slid it in. And Cunha were best player on pitch, wasn't he? Cunha played well. Probably deserved a goal, did Cunha. And let's be fair, they probably deserved a point, mate, as much as it pains us to say it. It is what it is. We look shattered. Might except Aaronson, who can run all day. Yeah. Pace and poise and a finish. Yeah. Great for Brendan to have a moment like that. At the south stand end as well. Brilliant. Even in Matty, felt we looked a bit leggy today, take the point. Honestly, Nige, everyone's saying the same. Look leggy. Not quite at it. The atmosphere weren't brilliant, but that's half 12 kickoffs. A little bit of, yeah, okay. They were there to be got out. But then again, they'll think the same about us because we didn't play brilliant and we got a point out of them. And they had 48 hours more rest than us. So, yeah, it is what it is. We look leggy, but we're going to be leggy. We're going to be leggy, aren't we? We have a medical woman who followed Leeds United now, fans all over the world. Yeah, we have Peter. All over, mate. All over. We're massive, us. Massive. I cannot keep saying this to people. Watching Matty's stream, please hit the like button. Cheers, Stevie. You're watching a really genuine person who deserves any help we can. Thank you so much, buddy. Just a shout out now as well. I will be doing a watch along on Wednesday night for Newcastle game, 100%. I won't be going to that game. So I'm off to the derby game with my son taking Theo to his first away day. So there'll be match day vlog and stuff for Derby. But Newcastle will be a watch along on here. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe and come and watch it with me. That'll be great. John Shaw, don't see West Ham getting 30 points. Don't see West Ham getting 30 points. More wins and we're safe. John, I don't want to go there, mate. I don't want to go there yet. But it's looking unlikely, but yeah, never know. Evening all, just caught up, been watching at 1.5 speed, way too fast. Hey up, Piner. Hope you're good, mate. Hope you're good. I'm up back to work Wednesday, but being off since start of June with a detached retina, a bit nervous. You'll be all right, Mark. You'll be good. You'll be good. Don't you worry about it. Don't stress about it. You'll be good. Just get back and take it steady. Ease yourself back into it, mate. Always gives a bell if you need a chat. Had we lost every match since Villa, which would have been City on, we would still be on 11 points, only 3 behind West Ham. Oh my God, that's mental, Michael. And West Ham, that's mad, that. If we'd have lost every match since Villa, which would have been City on, we would still be on 11. That's mad. Yeah. Not doing bad, are we? Surely back to 4-3-3 versus 2 and sound like he's going to rest some players. Yeah, I mean, the 4-3-3, we sort of ended on that, didn't we, when he took Bornau off. He definitely still likes a 4-3-3. But I think he can't really start with that, for me, because Biel's got to play. And obviously Rodon and Strauch when everyone's fit. But maybe he goes to a 4 at the back, mate, with Rodon being out and maybe takes Bornau out and plays Biol and Strauch maybe in that. But I am worried about him playing a back 4 from the start. I do like playing those 3 centre halves in there, I really do. Okafor tries every game, it'll come. I think Okafor's playing well, I do. End product's not 100% there at minute, but I don't think he's playing poorly. I really don't. Do you think the passing from the back is a byproduct of the confidence the players have right now? I just worry that maybe, but I always think whenever I watch it, it's always an instruction, I think. I think it's an instruction. I don't think the players can get away with going, instruction, play along. Actually, I think we're better than this fact. We're going to play out from back now. I think it's happened in too many games now. We saw it against Palace as well, and it worked. So now I think it's instruction. Okafor rinsed Yoro many times. We don't give him the ball enough. Yeah, I agree with that too, mate. I agree with that too. How are we doing at Newcastle? Will the run carry on? I think a point, David. I think a point, mate. I really do. But obviously, hopefully more. But it'll be a tough game, that. I think they'll have a lot of ball. We'll be sitting in. What's wrong with her? She's not right at all, dog. Not right at all. Noah's good, but he's a winger. We aren't really playing with wingers right. No, I know. He needs to get a little bit closer at DCL at times. Problem today we had as well with not having Bogle there. I felt like we had no width. I don't know if you felt that as well. I felt like everything were quite central. I don't feel like there were much. Like Okafor, for me, he needs to get closer to DCL, but at times you want to see him touching, sort of touching sideline as well, which when he's got the ball, I think is his strength. But I think when you've got DCL winning headers and he needs bodies around him, so that's probably where he needs to be in this sort of role. But I do think he's better when he gets the ball on the touchline and he's just got his fullback to beat. I think that's where he's deadly. I thought at Newcastle, at Liverpool, he did that quite well when he got the ball. He was driving down that left hand side into the box. I always feel like he could end up winning as a penalty. He's a really tricky player, really good on eye. Should probably have more goals and assists. He's got his 2 goals at Leeds fairly early into the season. And he hasn't really kicked on from there, but I do like him. I thought Okafor looked very quick and tricky and dangerous. Yeah, exactly. I really, honestly, he's getting loads of penalties in stadium. Like every game I've gone to recently. The bottom 3 are so poor. And we are fortunate that 2 established sides are doing badly, but I aren't going to hammer that too much because I want to give us credit for playing so well. Perry also takes unfair shit. Yeah, I mean, I were giving him pelters early on, John. I don't think we've had a bad player in this run of 7 games. I don't, and I think that's Perry, Aaronson, everybody, even Gruev in these last couple. I think everyone's done all right. Now, Lee, that is a call and a half. I don't think Bournemouth go down. I cannot see now beyond the bottom 3. I don't even think Forest. They're in conversation, but I don't even think Forest go down. Bournemouth are in an absolute world of trouble in terms of, where's the next win coming from. I think they've not won for 7, if I'm right, Lee. But I don't think they're as bad as West Ham, mate. I don't. But they are they're sinking like a rock at the minute. With Okafor, everybody's wanting another. Yeah, I agree. Top banana, bang on. That's probably the right word. That Rafa. Everybody wants and thinks Rafa. Is he a massive improvement on Ramazani, Okafor? I hope so. He looks a level up on Ramazani. A lot of people are saying he isn't as good as Solomon. I don't know about that either. I think he's all right. I really do. We could be on a 10-game losing streak. Yeah, exactly. The bottom three are beating up one another very poorly. I can't criticise the players too much right now, but one thing is confirmed: we don't have any crap players this season. The new guys are adapting well. I agree with that. I mean, who's had a shit season? I don't think anyone really. I feel like we had some players who weren't playing much, but I don't think we have any shit players in the side. I really don't. I think everyone's contributing, and I think that's what we needed. We've got a small squad. We haven't got a big squad at all. Everybody has to be contributing in some way, and I think they are. They're all doing well. Amps back in the next game, and we've done really well in the last 6. More points than I thought we'd get. Farke with bounce back ability. Not thought I'd see it. I agree, David. Who'd have thought we'd be saying these things? Not me. Our midfield was poor. Okafor didn't impress, and Perry should never start again. He's shit and dodgy as fuck. Take the draw all day long, but we look Andy. I don't love Perry, but I don't think he was shit and dodgy. He made a really good save at 0-0 from a header. People say he should save it, but we've had many shots come at our goal. What we should save and not done it in past. I don't think it was shit at all, mate. I really don't. Okafor didn't impress. He didn't do no wrong. I think he had a couple of lively moments. Midfield did okay, but we didn't. The midfield, we lost the midfield battle today, I would say. I think their midfielders were better. But again, 5th choice central midfielder playing there instead of our number 1 choice and our captain. It's going to be a little bit poorer, but I don't think anybody was poor today. I just think the levels weren't there because we were knackered. We've had a tough run. And we've, honestly, for the conversations we're having, drawing against scum, this is a team that we sing about when we beat them last 16 years ago. We sing about it. It's mad when you think about it. We sing about beating a team in FA Cup that they don't even give a shit about, but it means so much to us. We got a point against them today. It was all right. Look where we are. 25th minute, a 1 minute applause for a young lad who lost his life. Live your life like it's your last day on the planet. Well done, Steve. Well said, mate. Yeah, really sad that. Really sad. I didn't even know it was happening until it came on screen. And then I've seen on a Facebook post since I got back home telling us to all do it. But yeah, luckily it made a big thing of it. We're on the screen. And lovely moment, but a sad moment too. One thing is certain, the players are playing for the manager. That's never been in doubt for me, Michael. Never been in doubt. That's been well put to bed. Now the owners need to spend to make sure of safety too much on the line. Yeah, it worries me, the spending, because we're doing so well in terms of performance, and the bottom 3 look like they're all going down. I mean, it just looks quite evident at the minute. So why would you spend money if you're staying up? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. If we beat Newcastle and West Ham don't get out in the next game and we take that to 10 points plus past them, you just hope they're not naive enough to think this is it, because it only takes Cubbenson get injured, it only takes DCL to get injured. We're knackered, aren't we, then, in terms of some key areas, because we don't have the depth in certain positions. But yeah, let's just hope they've learned from yesteryear. Let's just hope they've learned from yesteryear. Perry isn't world class and never will be. He's a stop-gap keeper. Might have him one season after this. 16 million, David, for a stopgap. I don't know how many stopgaps, mate, that cost 16 million quid. That might be what you want. 16 million quid, and he'll have what? I think he's got a 4-year contract. That's medium to long-term vision there with that goalkeeper. Do I think he's good enough? I'm not sure, but I'm definitely not giving him pelters today. Certainly not giving him pelters for the run we've just had of 7 games, because they've all done well. And he's part of that. He's part of that. And he's being asked again by Farke, for me, as an instruction, to start playing out from the back again, because Farke's getting a bit confident again. Farke's in a good spot. Farke's not one loss away from getting sacked again. So guess what? Farke wants to play that football. All of a sudden, the defence, the goalkeeper, are asking to play with the ball and be brave on the ball. Weren't doing that. City weren't doing that, the couple of weeks at Chelsea. We were going long, we were going direct. Now the confidence is up. Now he isn't about to lose his job. He can play with a bit more freedom. He's being asked again to play out from the back a little bit at times. So he's looking a little bit, suspect at times. And that is what it is. It's not his strength. It's not, but I don't think it's a stopgap because of what we spent on him. But what I will say is, if we're still having these conversations next season, because he will be his number one next season still, David, he will. He isn't playing that poorly where I think they'll sell him, in my opinion. But if we're still having these conversations 12 months down the road, then I wouldn't want him the year after, let's say. I don't look at him and think, wow, what a keeper. He's better than Melier, but the level's better than Melier. So we needed a really good upgrade. And I think we've got an upgrade, but there's question marks 100%. And he'll never be world-class. No, I don't think he's a world-class goalkeeper. I thought we were getting a world-class goalkeeper. I did, from everything I'd read about him and seen about him at Lyon. But again, if he was everything, if he were world-class, he wouldn't be at Leeds United, and he'd have cost more than 16 million quid. So we've got to see how he goes. It's still early days. 20 games in. What's he played? 16, 17 of them. Still early days. 36, 37 will keep us up, pal. I hope so, Paul, mate. It's looking more likely it's going to be that. But I don't want to admit defeat to Priestley yet. So Paul Brooker at Leeds Therapy said the Scum fans were chanting some vile shy Elland Road today. I didn't hear them, thank God. But I've been getting it online. The vile, mate. The vile. They don't like being sung about their tragedies, but they're happy to sing it about ours. Yeah, awful fans, mate. Farke is doing well. He just has the one flaw of making subs too late. Yeah, but that's something that'll follow him, Punky. But when we're getting results, I don't mind too much. Top Banana, I know, you bugger. Only 6 points off 10th. Top Banana's been saying all season 10 for 11, so we'll see. We can't have 11 players that cost 40 to 50 million in less than a season. No, you've got to do that over a succession of seasons, haven't you? We can do that in 5 years with good sales. We need to sell players are playing well and wanted, not when they're at 100%. 100%. We had a conversation. I don't know if you're on Late Night Leeds or afterwards with AG and Boss. That's when we were talking about it, David. And we were saying, imagine if Calvert-Lewin don't get injured this season and he ends on 15 goals, right? 15 in 30 games or whatever it'll be, 30 odd games. Imagine he goes to World Cup and does okay. Imagine then in summer, someone slaps down 35 million for DCL when he won a free transfer. Do you sell him? Or do you do it? I remember when Tottenham came in for Bamford and there were rumours of 25, 30 million plus for Bamford after that year. Tottenham wanted him as a backup to Harry Kane, right? And we were like, no. And then he got injured and then this and that, and he never got back up to that 17-goal season in Premier League. Imagine if we'd have sold him to Tottenham for 30 million all them years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, what happens if we keep DCL? I mean, don't get me wrong, hopefully no one comes in for him and he just stays at Leeds now for foreseeable, because I absolutely love him. But let's just say he has a 15-goal season, someone starts 35, and we turn it down and we're like, yeah, get in there, he ain't going to you, fuck off. And then he gets injured and scores 3 next season and he's a bit part player and we all turn around and go, what the chuff? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, there is something in that. Like people saying Bogle ain't going to go to Everton again, though. I hope he doesn't, and I think it's all rubbish. But there might be a sacrificial lamb or two. There might be a couple of players that we just can't say no to money. But yeah, over a succession of years, you've got to build that squad. You know, we've got Bornau as a bench option at 5 million quid, and that's what he is. In 5 years' time, if you've been in Premier League look at Villa, your bench options need to be 15, 16, 20, 25 million quid. That's what your bench options have to be. And then your players are 30, 40 million pound in your starting lineup. And that doesn't happen overnight. Not with PSR restrictions as a club like Leeds United, it doesn't happen. What I will say is next season, if we can stay up this season, I think next season we're guaranteed to stay up again, back to back, for the reason that I think the 3 coming up are all going to go back down. This season, that doesn't apply. Next season, I think it does. I think the Championship this season is a lot less quality in there, hence why, no disrespect, Coventry are doing well, Hull are doing well, Middlesbrough are doing well. All the sides that notoriously flirt with the playoffs are actually flirting with autos. So it's key we stay up this season, which it looks like we're going to do. And then we can kick on again, because I don't think we go down in the 3rd year either. And then we're up there, then we're established. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it last time. All the negative for me today was defending from Bornau and Pascal and Penny for the goal. Dr. Cox, for the goal. Yeah, for the goal, yeah. I thought you meant in general. Yeah, for the goal. That's fine, yeah. Scum need to spend another 500 million to beat us. Yeah, I love that, mate. Come on, smash a like. Let's get I ain't going to get 200 bloody likes, mate. You got no chance. Thanks, though. 140 people watching, 131 likes. Absolutely love you, bitch. Thank you. Coxey, I'd love 4 or 5. Don't think it's going to happen. Have you heard about Sheffield United conveniently having their match abandoned, even though they have under? No, really. Dark Arts fixture congestion. I didn't know. I haven't seen that. Not seen that, mate. Fergal, I wonder how Somerville feels now. Yeah, I was thinking this last night, Fergal. I was thinking this last night. He's gone to there and he's had another year in Prem than he's had now. But yeah, and I mean, West Ham's a big club. It's a shit atmosphere at the stadium and all that. It's a big club. It's in London. The wax lyrical about going to London and all that. I don't know why. I can't. No offense for anyone from London. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. But yeah, you bang on. Imagine, they go down and you just think. But what I'll say is, I think if they go down West Ham, they'll lose a lot of the best players, Paqueta, Bowen. But maybe Somerville becomes that guy then. Maybe Somerville becomes the main guy at West Ham in the Championship. Be funny though. Stop. You've got to become a member, Stevie. I've got memberships in my description and then my numbers within the membership. Once you become a member, my phone number's on there, then I can add people to the WhatsApp group. There's been a few people fall out today, which I don't understand. But it's a really good group. It's like a group of brothers is our WhatsApp group. We've got Bill in America. We've got Lou, who's in the chat tonight, over in Australia. We've got lads in Ireland, lads in England, lads here, there and everywhere. Lads from all over, and it's a class group. I saw about the Blunts game getting abandoned. Willie Well, yeah. I can't believe he's done that. Yeah, exactly, John Pepper. You've got to want you. Cheers again, Mark. You're a star. Thanks for everyone pushing the boat on the likes. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Legend. Thank you so much, buddy. Thanks to everyone who's liked and subscribed. Means a lot, man. Can't wait to get Road and Ampadu, Longstaff and Danji. Imagine, John, bad thing is, right, imagine having full strength. We'll never have full strength because they'll come back and someone else will get injured or suspended. So it never quite happens, does it? But we have got quite a few out at the minute. Quite a few. What's that? 4, 5, 6. Over the last few weeks, I feel like we've had quite a lot of talent out and we can't really afford to have 4 or 5 of our starters out. And Dan James is a starter. Whether he'll start now, when he went out, he was a starter and he's our best player. We're already playing with that as top striker from last season. But yeah, he probably doesn't deserve to start and our best player from last season. So it's a bit of a weird one, really, that you've got players like that out in the side. But then you take your captain out, you take your best fullback out, your best central defender out, in my opinion, and you're struggling a bit higher. Hey up, Andrew. Hope you're good, mate. Come here. Nice video. And our worst problem is Perry. Since Pascal came back in from being dropped, he's been solid and consistent. I think so. Actually, I absolutely love him. Bornau doing okay. Bornau's doing brilliant. Hope he doesn't get injured. Fingers crossed. Mike Bassett, how you doing, Matty Pal? I'm doing good, mate. Dreading work again tomorrow, but I've got to get back into swing of things, haven't you? Christmas and the festive period don't last forever. I've really enjoyed covering Leeds United a lot more on here as well with being off. You probably realise I've done so many videos in this last few weeks. I've been off work, but I will continue to keep pumping content out as and when I've got something to say. I won't do it for the sake of it, but if I want to say something, I'll come on here and talk about it. And thanks for watching, hyping, supporting. But I'm good, mate. I hope you're all good too, mate. Nice to see people supporting the players instead of complaining about them. I talked to some West Ham and they hate their owners and manager. Doomed and no home advantage. Yeah, exactly. The no home advantage, Paul's massive in it. New manager incoming. Maybe. I did think Nuno would keep him up. What happens with a new manager? I've heard Slaven Bilic comes back, as a rumour. I think he'll get Slaven Bilic back. That'll be a nightmare for him. Absolute nightmare. We missed Ampadu today, says Ashley, and it showed that at times he sets a tone and slows it down when he needs it, and then speeds it up as well when he needs to as well. I think Bogle was rested for Wednesday, so him and Ampadu come straight in. I mean, if it were resting, Ashley, I'd be buzzing because there's a little bit of me that's worried thinking he's going to be not available for Wednesday as well. But yeah, if it were resting him, happy days. Him and Ampadu come straight back in and all of a sudden we look miles better. Miles better. Living where I live in Ferry Hill, I've managed to get a ticket from a mate in the Newcastle match. God help me if we score. Oh, Newcastle end. DCL Metcha be up top Wednesday. Yeah, I'd like to see that again. I mean, Metcha came on today and he was playing out on left wing, wasn't he? I'd really like to see both of them two just as two up top again because I thought they worked brilliantly before Metcha got injured. Perry's a big problem for us. He is definitely not a Prem. You don't think he's a Prem keeper? I assume you don't think he's a champ keeper. You just think he's a European League keeper, like you say, in League. Oh, I think he's a Prem keeper. I do. Honestly, I don't even love Perry, though. I see all these problems, and I don't love him. He probably is our weakest player, but I don't think he's that bad, man. I don't. He made a great save at 0-0, and he's just rushed out of his 6-yard box to close him down. And he slid it past him. I don't know, man. He was played through 1-on-1 with keeper. I'm blaming keeper. Do you know? Yeah. He's his weakest player, but I don't think he's that bad. Shame about the supporters who passed away at Elland Road. Our thoughts, yeah, true, John. My thoughts. I said it at the beginning as well, mate. It's horrendous, absolutely horrendous. Just say hello, boys. So shit, you didn't beat Man U. Hey up, Cash Talks Football. I love it how you find your way over here. I do appreciate the comment, mate. It helps the algorithm and all helps me out. So thank you so much. I wouldn't dream of coming on a Man United show, but yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, you are shit. For Man United, because regardless how much we hate you, you were it at one point. You were it. Like, for Man United, you are shit. You are so shit. I'll say it again. Shit. So shit. Biol is a monster, so physical and commanding. Captain material. Yeah, Paul. Definitely. He's a leader. And we needed Biol today when you think we were missing Rodon and Ampadu, who are born leaders. They are our main two leaders in our side. For me, they dictate everything in a defensive capacity. They organise it all. So good. Biol in there made it a little bit easier, I think. Not only can you change your mind about players and managers, but I've changed my mind about you. Now you're one of my favourite Leeds YouTubers. Oh, seriously, does that mean you hated me before? Or does that mean I wasn't one of your favourites? But I appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much. I hope you didn't hate me before. I'm just me. But yeah, no, thanks for that, mate. That's class. When anyone says that, it blows my mind. Yeah, really, thank you. Thank you. So much. Guy called Sean come up to me today and spoke to me as well, who watches me. And a lad spoke to me today who watches me on TikTok, so that was nice too. Really, really nice when people come and talk to me. I never really know what to say or do because it's bizarre, but I absolutely love talking about Leeds, and I'll talk your bloody back legs off a donkey if you come and chat to me. So you have to give Perry a chance in the first season. Come on, guys, get behind your bloke. Yeah, like I say, he probably is his weakest player, but I don't feel like he massively needs hammering today for me. Perry is still our best goal this season. Aina, Darlow, thanks all over Perry. I don't know about that, mate. Don't get me wrong, right? I was saying Darlow should have stayed in over Perry, but I don't think Perry's coming and being awful. But I don't think Darlow's way better. But there's an argument. There's an argument that like that, mate, and I don't think that's ridiculous to say. And that's bad on Perry for me to say Darlow's, probably thinking how out of playing in terms of when they took him back outside, he weren't doing much wrong, Darlow. But I don't think he's way better, Andy. But the fact that I don't think Perry's much better than Darlow says it all, really, when, we spent 16 million quid on him. How many goals did Melia let in with a team with who opponents couldn't get near our goal? Give Perry time, yeah, 100%. What do you mean we lost our fantastic supporters? So someone died before the game. I think at Elland Road, Lucas, a Leeds fan, passed away I think at the game today. Yeah, he should. How good has Bornau been? He's been brilliant, Aidan. He's been absolutely brilliant, and I didn't think he was going to be nowhere near what he's done, and fair play to him. Matty, I used to be a goalkeeper. They all see goalkeeper mistakes. They don't see, when the players miss chances, it gets... Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. And because I've never been a goalkeeper, I don't massively like talking about it. So unless it's a massive error, I don't really like talking about it. I think his distribution's been shit at times. He can't kick a ball to the intended target very often. But again, as long as he's, saving the goal, I aren't too bothered. But is he one of his weakest links? Yes, he is. But I don't think he's shit. I just don't think he's... I think we could have got better. New year, new Farke, changing tactics and formations during games. And I love that. I love to see it. I know they were late subs, but that last 75 minutes onwards, then when he brought Pido on as well and made some more changes, in about 85, they were all attacking changes. Defender off for an attacking midfielder. Yeah, Tanaka came on. Nono comes on. Some really good changes there to try and go win the game. I love that. We was playing 4-3-3 today, to be honest. But we had three at the back, didn't we? With two wing backs. So I think we started out as a 5, and then it went into a 4 and Bornau went off. But we're so fluid in and out of different formations. I tell you what, when I was sat today in West Stand, didn't like it. Did not like it at all. I like to be up higher so you can see the actual game. When you're low down and in corner, so if I had to watch game back, or majority of game back when I got in, our centre backs haven't the pace to play a back four, playing three centre-backs leaves us solid. Yeah, 100%. It coincides with results, doesn't it? The three at the back's worked. Since Biol's come into a back three, we've been outstanding. There was just one ball that went down the right that Brendan couldn't get to, but Dan James would have done. Aside from that, a couple of moments, it was pretty central. I like know what he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine, but it was very central. Harry Wilson played wide left in a 3-4-3. Harry Wilson got another goal today. He's playing really well, isn't he? We're going to do a video of the day on Harry Wilson, because the more and more I think about it, the more and more likely that becomes. Fulham might be getting Raheem Sterling. Is Raheem Sterling better than Harry Wilson currently? Not a chance. But is Harry Wilson leaving on a free in the summer? Yes, he is. Has he signed a new contract yet? No, he hasn't. So Fulham may have to sell their best player just to get some money through the door. Imagine if Fulham have to sell their best player for about 10 to 15 million quid, just so they can play Raheem Sterling and Wilson not leaving a free. That could happen, boys and girls. That would be good, wouldn't it? That would be brilliant. Yeah, the amp, mate, no, the amp. Paul Smith, it was 5:30 a.m. kickoff over here at the Girlfriends. The atmosphere was not good. Lol, especially when Aaronson scored, pal. It was 5:30 a.m. kickoff over here. Oh, my word. Nightmare, that, mate. Nightmare. Fair play for you, though. As soon as Metcha come on, was a massive difference up front. DCL knocking it down and Metcha was there. Okafor plays too wide. Kind of isolates DCL. If we going to play Okafor, he needs to stay in the middle. Yeah, I mean, today for me, we started with, I think it was like up top, it was like three, wasn't it? You had DCL at middle, you had Aaronson on right, and then you had Okafor on left. So we're like five at back, two in midfield, a 5-2-3. Yeah, something like that. You had two central midfielders, sort of defensive minded, and then you had Brendan. But Brendan, honestly, I cannot pick up where Brendan's playing at times. It started out on the right hand side for me. Okafor went on left, and then Brendan sort of comes inside. He ends up on left. He ends up on right. He ends up in central areas. The fluidity that the players are playing in, the formations that they're going in and out. You've always got those three centre halves, and then you've got your wing backs pushing high. But Justin James wasn't that high today, which meant that right hand side were lacking a little bit, I think, especially when Aaronson were coming inside as well. But Okafor, I think he can play in a two up top. I think we've seen that, and he's been effective. I think I like him as a winger. I like it when he plays wide, but it does isolate DCL. So yeah, I'm not too sure what's best for Okafor going forward, but I certainly won't rule him out just yet. Yeah, me too. Okafor tackles himself more often than the play does. Maybe it's you, Sniper. It's taking him out. We to sign two players, an attacking fullback and a striker for me. Yeah, mate, I think we need a fullback. A striker's probably needed as well, isn't it? I'm a little worried about the lack of incoming so far. We need strengthening just to get over the line. Cheers, Skippy. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, well, we know we aren't going to sign anybody, or no one's going to be in line to play any minutes until after the Derby game. So that says to me, we're probably going to be making not making big waves in market till after that. So you probably got another week or so. Jason, are you from Nottingham, mate? Think Noah getting better each game. Felt we lost a man when Metcha came on. Yes, Metcha. I love Metcha, but he played out wide on left. He weren't up there with DCL, but he was playing on left. And I thought Metcha at Liverpool. Have we rushed him back a little bit? Do you think? Have we rushed him back a little bit? Again, I'm a massive Metcha fan. Really am. But I do like Okafor. Paul Smith, your dog has the same hairstyle as you, mate. She cries like me as well. She's having a right whinge tonight. But yeah, she needs she's due cutting, to be fair. She's due cutting. That's look, some of those dogs looks like a different dog. She's a sheep who half shit, so half toy poodle. But when you shave her, she's like a different dog. Looks like half a body weight as well. Harry Wilson would be class one in January. Shout out to Bornow and Justin for slotting him well, yeah, 100%. Finn Nichols, saw you at the game today. Hey up, Finn. Why didn't you say out? Should have come and said hi. Mate, it's a thankful job being a goalkeeper, yeah, 100%. Don't think we need incomings, but would love a couple to deepen the squad. You don't think we need them? Yeah, I mean, I think everyone would agree that it needs to be a bit deeper, does the squad. But I think you're on your own thinking we don't need. But then again, I understand what you mean. Do you think we stay up if we don't sign anybody? You'll say yes, or hence the we do not need. I think we stay up regardless. I won't lie. I'm very confident now. Very confident. I'm that confident we could maybe even have 3 buys and maybe still stay up. Oh, nah, I'm joking. We'll just play 35 games. West Ham will give you a chance. You know, Leeds, it'll go to fucking why. You know what we're like. Nightmares, aren't we? Whenever we think it's all rosy, we then knack it up. So hard to say what you need to sign as change formational. Exactly. Honestly, the formation changes have put my head in a bit of a spin when it comes to January. I don't know what we actually need because I don't know what. All I can say is, do we need to cover every base? We haven't really got a number 10. But then again, is it going to be a waste of money? Because I just honestly, it's such a dilemma. Before, when we we're playing a 4-3-3, we all looked at it and went, well, Dan James is injured. We need a right winger. Right winger was pretty much the top of everyone's list. Now, no one's talking about bringing a winger in. So it's a mad one. You know, nobody would really talk about bringing a striker in when we were playing a 4-3-3 and we only had one striker because you had DCL, you had Metcher, then you had Pirro. But now, at times, you're playing with two up top. 3 strikers don't seem enough. But yeah, my head's in a spin with January because I just don't know. Do we need Ramazani badly? I love Ramazani. I would have him back. I think he comes back and maybe goes out on loan or maybe we get rid of who shall I say? Jack Harrison, should I say? And maybe Ramazani's that bench option for him. But we don't need him back. And I love Ramazani, but we don't need Ramazani back. I don't think he'll play under Farke in Premier League anyway. But I'd have him back and I think he may come back. Our expectations have gone through the roof lately. Just not getting carried away and keep pushing. Yeah, that's the thing in it. Try not to get too. This is a fixture I think a result people aren't going to get too hyped over anyway because I think it is a bit meta today. People aren't feeling brilliant. We just move on. But 7-game unbeaten run with 5 draws. It shows we're hard to beat. I don't think we're getting too carried away because it's not like we've won 6 or 7 of these games. We've struggled in some of them, don't get me wrong. It hasn't been plain sailing, but we've dug deep and got a result in games that we probably wouldn't have got out in the past. So I think expectations are probably at a decent level in terms of we're not overachieving, but we've got a nice buffer now over West Ham where people are sort of thinking, yeah, you know, we're comfortable, but we know we Leeds, you know, we know what happens and we still need a few players. So I don't think anyone's too overconfident based on what they're seeing with Leeds. I think we just in a really good spot here and looking at the sides below us, I don't foresee how they get too many more points than what we're going to get, you know. 49ers have to back Farke now in this window. We need additions. Need is a strong word, Nige. I think we do as well, mate, to be fair. Yeah, they play each other next to do, mate. Our incoming should be young potential that can progress but cover if needed. I can't disagree with that. Yeah, that's about right. Harry Wilson won't come to Leeds. Probably not Dr. Cox. Probably not. But there's a conversation that they're going to have to tell him in January. There really is. Give it a rest with goalkeeper. Playing 3 centre-backs gives them more options playing out from the back. Yeah, it does. It makes it a lot more comfortable out there with that extra body in there. If Coventry come up because they haven't spent anything, they could do a Sunderland, spend 100 million. Our club cannot stand still. Yeah, well, we struggled not going up that first year, didn't we? That was our problem. My hypothetical dilemma: if you had a choice for Leeds not losing to continue, Newcastle or Derby, oh, you're a bastard. Why are you saying that? So which game would I rather lose? I ain't even going there, Roger, because you know I bang the drum about making sure we have an FA Cup run every single season. I had a meltdown when we got beat by Millwall in Cup last year. Meltdown. And everyone told me it's only the Cup. It don't matter. It does matter. I had to win it, Roger. I'm not doing it, Mr. Slicker. Not going there, mate. I want to win them both. All right. Want to win them both. That save Perry did today looked good. Yeah, watch it back, lads. He could have stood and caught the ball. Instead, he had to like Superman flap. You're not giving him any of it, are you, Andy? You're not giving him any plaudits today. Fair enough. Coventry only won 2 out of the last 8 games. Yeah, I've seen that, mate. I think they're still top, though, aren't they? But it happens sometimes. You get a little bit ahead of yourself, don't you? And it doesn't take much for it to change. I wondered if Bogle was rested for the Geordies. Be good if Ampadu and Longstaff can come in for midweek and freshen up the midfield. Ayo and Willie could do it. Yeah, it'd be nice. I could see Tanaka starting. Surely Tanaka can start against Newcastle. Longstaff might get some minutes. Decent for him to, you know, go to his old stomping ground and get some minutes too. He'd love that. Is he fit enough to start? I don't know. But yeah, we'll have to see. Would like to see Pirro up front with DCL. Metcher spends too much time on his ass complaining, says Dave. Wow. You'll not get rid of Perry. Laugh my ass off. 5 more likes for 150. Yeah, 160 likes now. Thanks so much, man. Class. I thought Pido could have got to the pass first, so he did. Then he didn't. Bet that old guy didn't speak to you. Yeah. If go watch a Matchday vlog if you've not watched it after this. Yeah, I proper went mental when we scored, and he wasn't happy. You know what it was? Really annoyed me, right? So when I was sat in West Stand, I was sat right in corner flagging first corner. I think because I went down the ground tunnel, it was called, so like the tunnel to corner pitch. I think it might have been. I don't know. I wouldn't say it might be like the disabled area, but these were the seats. I was close to the front anyway. Not a wheelchairs outside, and then we were sort of sat in that first section. But there were 2 old blokes next to me. They were sound like 2 old blokes to my left. But they said before the game, he said, "Oh, I hope they don't stand up all the time." And I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?" Like, well, I don't want to be getting up and down. So first chance we had, the stand up. So as soon as someone in front of you stands up, you've got to stand up, haven't you? Look, I was on last row, me, so I had no one like behind me before it went up another tier. So I didn't mind standing, but obviously up, down, up, down. The guy went nuts. He went, "Everyone sit down now." Kept on screaming, "Sit down now." And he didn't even get up. He just sat down. So when we scored, didn't see it. When they didn't see it, every time we had a chance, corner, just sat down, refused to stand up. And he said to me, "If everyone just sat down for full game, we'd all get to see it, wouldn't we?" I thought, honestly, mate, you seem sound, but you just need to watch it on TV or something, because this is mental. Like, you're actually kicking off. He shouted, "Sit down, everyone," honestly, 50 times. 50 times. I had to cut him out of my vlog most of the time for him saying it, doing my head in. And I understand it's not nice. You're probably 70-year-old and it's not nice up down, but that's what happens. It's football. When someone runs down wing or someone has a chance, you get on, you stand up, don't you? But he wasn't happy. Then when everyone turned and went, "Stand up if you hate Man U," did he go fucking nuts? Oh, here we go. Now I knew they'd start singing that song. I was just chuckling to myself. I thought it was funny. But yeah, it is funny. But yeah, I can't keep it quiet. The West Stand's not notoriously known for being savage, but with me in it, it went up an octave, I'll tell you that. Coach Perry to rush out. You can't fuck about. We've got a juggernaut. Confidence. We are confident at the minute. And Pau and Perry could have caught that shot. He pushed it over. Watch it again and get off his back. He's not world class, but he's Leeds. He is Leeds. I say it's opinions. We all have opinions. Andy's not a big fan of his. I've been on the fence about him. I aren't going to moan about him this run of 7. We're doing all right. We've got, we've had a couple of clean sheets recently. Something we haven't seen a lot of. Well, not recently. We got one, didn't we, against Liverpool? We're not getting carved open. Perry's making a couple of decent saves. It is what it is. Actually doing some touting. Anyone selling a ticket for Fulham at home? It won't be as hard to get. I ain't even got a Fulham ticket yet. I'm gonna leave it towards last few days. I've spent so much money going over the last month or so. It's been criminal over Christmas. 30 more points required from the last 15 years. 45 points has been the target now. Recruit when we live the dream. I love that, Ian. Ref, yeah, I thought ref was shocking. That ref notoriously isn't a bad ref. He was part of the. I didn't rate him at all. What do we think of Manchester? What do we think of shit? Manchester. I'm going to say that word in here. Even though, hey up, Marcus, hope you're good. Hope you're good. We should have started mentioning DCL and launched it up to them. I was saying that after about 20 minutes, that lad to me right. Yes, I do love them two up top as a 2. Metcher on the wing, not quite as much. 3-4-3. Yeah, 3-4-3. I always call it a back 5, me. Always. So 5-2-3. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, a 3-4-3 is how it's actually supposed to be said. But I always say 5-3-2. So 5-2-3. But yeah, you would call it a 3-4-3. You would, mate, yeah. I always, whenever I'm doing a video, I always say the 3-5-2 or the 5-3-2, whichever way you look at it. I know it's basic, but would work against their weak centre backs. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You look at Sizer, Martinez is about fucking 4'1", isn't he? I could kick the ball very well, but I was very good shot stopper. I let the most stupid goal in. I'd make up for it with the saves. I rush out of my area sometimes, won the ball. It's nice to have a goalkeeper's perspective, mate. 100%. Brendan and Alioski were in the same class in school. Hey up, Martin. John Charles, I like to see Pirro get more game time with DCL. honestly, I can't believe he just hadn't, John. I can't believe he hadn't. When we switched it to two up top and Metcher and DCL, and you thought, wow, we've got something here. And then when Metcher came out with, with his knock, I thought he'd give Pirro, but obviously he's a different kind of player. But I thought off DCL it'd work, and he's still not getting game time, is he? So yeah, have to see. Maybe he goes in January. Can't see Leeds getting anyone. They want the team to struggle and feed on the fans' division. Well, fair enough, George. 7 million for Wilson in January or on free in the summer. I'd take him in January for 7 million, mate. Get him now before somebody else does. Metch had 3 chances. Yeah, he did. Out on that left-hand side. He held it on a bit too long, didn't he? Hi, guys. We'll be mourning if we would. Left-footed defender, yeah, not a bad shout. Right then, guys, I'm going to finish up now. No, I don't think he comes back. Today, Aaronson played 8, 10, 11, 7, lol. How many kilometres? 115 plus. Paulie went everywhere. I genuinely could not tell you what position he played today at times. They're just so fluid as a side. They're just so fluid. In and out of formation changes. It's great to see. From being so rigid and stuck in Farke as always. Difficult question, guys, but if it goes down to the wire between West Ham and Leeds, we would all be shitting ourselves. Of course we would. Stand up if you wait, man, you stand up. If you wait, man, you stand up. If you wait, man, you stand. I can't not get up now, can I? If you wait, man, you stand up. Fuck me, who's this bloke who's moaning about standing up? Might I get his number? I swap every game with him. He can sit on my side. Oh, honestly, that the fact that there were that many people wanting tickets actually today. I had so many friends who go to a lot of games. I got lucky. I didn't have a ticket till late Friday night. Lucky that, a friend I've made through having the channel sorted me one out. Sarah, God bless you, legend. And then you've got someone moaning about people standing up, and they weren't stood up for the full game. I understand some people stand up, and it's like, unless you're in Cop or South Stand, you've got to sit down. I get that. I sit in East Upper, and you sit down. You get up, you go back down. But the fact that you were moaning when people got up just for that moment, just for that chance, get a grip, mate. Harvey, yes, Matty, Sunderland and Leeds are staying up. Good to see we're all shutting. And you know what it is, Harvey? That's why me and Wayne did bridging the gap. And it got a little bit, because you were doing so well and we were struggling. But you're still doing brilliant. Yeah, you are. And there's a buffer. There's a gap between us. But it doesn't matter. We're both doing well in his own right. We're both doing well. We're not in competition with each other. We're in competition with the bottom. We're in competition with the teams in around to stay in the division. And we're doing brilliant. We're doing absolutely brilliant. And I couldn't be happier. They did play 2 kids at centre-back, yeah. I do like DCL and Metcher both up front. Yeah, they had that heaven, didn't they? I am a traditionalist, Matty. The FA Cup winning breeds confidence. We have the squad to get past Derby, yeah. I'll be fuming if we go to Derby and get beat. Fuming. I think Clicky. Yeah, he did. It's on my Matchday vlog. He was at half-time, but you couldn't hear him. The mic was poor. You couldn't hear him over Tannoy, mate. Thanks, Matty. Enjoyed it at work. Thanks, Stevie. I'll do my best. Appreciate it, mate. Perry Bogle, Justin Beall, Strout, Gudmundsson, Ampadu, Stack Tanaka, for DCL against Newcastle, in my opinion. I like that. I like that a lot. Justin at centre half. Gudmundsson, Ampadu, Stack Tanaka. Yeah, beat him with that side, don't we? I like that side. Cheers, Matty. Love it. I'm still standing. I'm still standing up. I'm still sanding up. Are you sanding? Wax on, wax off. Cesar, as always. Thanks so much, man. Always in chat. Yeah, you've got to try and win every game, haven't you? I was above where the players come out. I felt alone at times. It was too quiet around me. You need to have short people sitting up front so it doesn't matter when they stand. Leeds Messiah, Farke, Harvey. Bang on, Prem's a better place when Sunderland Leeds are in it, simple as. And we've always said that. We've had a bit of bite, Harvey. We've had a little bit of bite recently with Sunderland. It's been class. But genuinely, both big clubs, both should be in Premier League and both doing bits. Great stream, Matty, later on. Thanks, Anna, as always. Leeds, Jesus, DCL. Right, everyone, I'm getting off. Thank you so much. 168 likes, legends. Please smash a like if you haven't already. Please subscribe to the channel. Watch along on Wednesday. I don't know what's going to happen before then. I'll have Bridging the Gap on Tuesday, actually, so I do know what's happening before then. Maybe have an outside Elland Road show on the Inside Elland Road podcast. Depends if AG wants to do one, which hopefully he does, because that's his baby. And I'll be back as and when. You know me, I'm never too far away from a video. Never, because I fucking love doing this. Thanks, great chat again. Don't go, don't leave. Cheers, Martin. I'm going anyway. Have a good one, Matty. Cool stream as always. Thanks so much, West Yorkshire Retro Gamer, legend. Draw today is great. Draw today is great. Just pissed off we didn't get free. And it's all right to be pissed off. Standards are rising because we're doing so well and we've got belief in boys. Absolutely class. Ball now can't come off. It did come off. It is what it is. A point against Scum. We take it, we move on. 7 games unbeaten. I love you all a bits. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting me in the channel. Please subscribe. Please smash a like on the way out. And I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye, folks. Take care, YouTube. Absolute legend. See y'all later. Thank you. Bye-bye.